Well, hey, welcome to the show before the show, where I check to make sure everything's working, and so far it looks hunky-dory. How are you, Will?
I'm good. I'm good.
And how are you, audience? On this fine Saturday morning. And we shifted some things around. I had to go to this engagement party. So of course I was up until like 1 a.m. and then I got up at 6 to go to play tennis. And I am so surprised with how popular I used to play tennis at Astoria Park here in Queens like years ago, and it was never this popular. Like, there were lines queued to book the 14 courts that were available, and you need to pay for like a permit to use the space. You need to pay for a pass to use the space. So all of those people were up at whatever, like, the line queues at 7:20 to jump on the courts at 8. Also, the courts are supposed to open at 8, but like people were playing at 7. At any rate, that was my morning. I'm a little tired and I need to eat. But before all of that, um, there's this thing that I witnessed when we were at SCG Con, and it was groups of four sitting at a table playing something that looks like competitive Elder Dragon Highlander, but it was casual. They called it casual, and I was so confused. I jumped into a few games, and they were really fun. They were longer, certainly longer, but they were really fun. I think a majority of players look at Commander as a casual format, and I kind of agree with them. I mean, hell, even playing in that 1K felt pretty casual to me at times. So, with that in mind, I would honestly love to own a casual deck to bring out and play locally, because I only have a few people I know that are still in the city area that actively play CDH, and I think that I would have a better time or better go of it, like just bringing casual decks around. So, not to say that every deck we do on the channel moving forward will be casual. I personally want to take a moment to just explore what that world is. And Will, you're knees deep in it. You've been in this space for a while, the casual
Yeah.
space. So, I guess we could sort of start by defining what casual is before we jump into this, so that you guys have an idea. I know people like to use a number scale. I think that's stupid. I just because when I sat at these tables and played casual games, like some people were using Vampiric Tutor and Mana Crypt, and some people were using base starter decks, right? So it's like the scope in, like, you have dual lands in your casual decks. Well, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, this is really efficient. I don't get what's going on.
So
Um, but yeah, break
in
it down
my
for
in
me.
my version, it's because me and my friends are doing our own version of casual called Solemn Tier, where we have an extra ban list and a no two card combos rule, including your commander plus A plus B. So I'm like, I want to push it as hard as I can. So my casual decks are my competitive Solemn Tier decks, but I I have casual decks without dual lands, and a lot of my casual decks aren't going to run dual lands, but I have a handful that do, just to have the most efficient version of that for my friends.
Gotcha. All right, so I think generally speaking, we're gonna try to avoid combos that win on the spot. Is that fair?
I think we're still going to use combos, but it's not going to be as simple as just Thassa's Oracle Demonic Consultation or like Hermit Druid find the new Hermit Druid combo for Selesnya or anything like that. I think we're going to be doing more commander centric combos that need a little bit more setup with expensive cards, but we're still going to have combos in the deck.
Okay, that's fair. Sharpie Tower seems fun too. Sharpie Tower? What's that? I so yeah, casual is kind of foreign to me. Like when I jumped into Commander initially, I bought like I bought all the stuff. I'm like, what are the most efficient cards? And this is even when I was playing like Flip Liliana, right? The deck had like the Mana Crypt, the Mana Vault, the yada yada yada, Rasiketh combos. Was it a good deck? No. But it was something I wanted to explore, and I just like Liliana. I just like the Planeswalker. So, even when I got into this game, I feel like I was operating it pretty efficiently. Like that deck could also play for like ad nauseum lines. And at that time I didn't really have all the pieces to make that work as effectively, but over the years I bought everything, right? So casual to me, at least from what I experienced there, was like just outrageous board states, as much card advantage as you can get in any way you can get it. Counter spells or interaction that I don't typically see. They're usually like 2-for-1s. Like they'll do more than just the one trick. Maybe they'll draw you a card, or maybe they'll do whatever they're doing. They have multiple functions beyond just the one mode, right, of play. Where in CDH, it's like this spell costs 1 mana and it does this one thing really well. So you're looking for those opportunities to play those cards where, at least in a casual setting, I saw room for bigger, splashier spells. Like the most fun I had was that last game we played, Will, before we had to cut out. Like what was I doing? I was playing Karuga. I was playing Karuga, and I was having the time of my life. I was like, I had Panharmonicon. I was doing all this dumb shit, and I was kind of getting away with it because no one really had a board wipe. I think we did get hit with a wipe, but it didn't affect my artifacts. So I built up my deck really quickly. But the benefit of that list was that I was putting so many lands on the battlefield, it didn't even matter. It was almost like playing Nadu. I felt dirty. But we're not building Karuga today, although I would love to build my own Karuga just to let them have the horn, all right, sorry, I'm gonna catch up with you guys.
The Sharpie Tower is the Sharpie Cube, which is what I've heard it referred to more consistently online, where you take cards but you write out things with Sharpie. So, for instance, what was it? I think Vindicate. Vindicate was like the V was crossed out and then the Destroy was crossed out, so it was Indicate, target permanent.
Oh. That would be fun. That's hyper casual. Deck brewing stream, yes indeed. James says black on certain keywords. To me, casual are decks no combos but all out power level. Everything else is okay. Okay, so like Con Sphinx is chill with people. I can just reanimate that thing, get some draw going. I mean, I don't know, like that seems like good value to me. We don't really have that potential here because we are in trip colors, but we're not in black. So guys, we actually have some packs that we're gonna take a second to open. Not the whole box here, but we'll open like 2 packs each, I think, me and Will. We did want to break in Bloomburrow with some pack cracking, so I got some collector boosters. Wish us luck. Wish me luck specifically. Okay, Will historically has had amazing luck.
I think this time we're shuffling up the packs.
I'll shuffle it up this time. But guys, before that, so you know what we're doing. I've got Helga Skittish Seer here. So this is the deck we are brewing today. She is green, white, blue. What is that color pairing?
Bant.
She is Bant. She's skittish. She's a frog druid. She's a 1/3 body. So 3 for a 1/3, not looking too good. But whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value 4 or greater, you draw a card. Oh, I love drawing cards. Gain 1 life. It doesn't end there. And put a 1/1 counter on Helga Skittish Seer. Okay, well, so she gets bigger. You get bigger. And this counts X spells as well on the stack, right? So if I'm not mistaken, like the mana value of Walking Ballista, that's X2, is going to be 4, and so on and so forth. But you can tap this, add X mana of any one color, where X is Helga Skittish Seer's power, right? So off the get-go, she's just a simple dork, but you can fool with this by using effects like Invigorate or anything like that that's going to buff her. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells with mana value 4 or greater, or creature spells with X in their mana cost. So I was talking to Will off camera, likely Hydras. I don't know how many other X creatures there are, but no matter what, this is reading creature tribal. So for me, I have a few ideas. I'm thinking, what's the name of that card? Intruder Alarm will probably be good here. I mean, again, I don't want to do egregious things, but I think Intruder Alarm's kind of good for everyone because it untaps all creatures, right? Also, I feel like I've mentioned this every stream. I have a Cloudstone Curio that I've been wanting to play. A masterpiece Cloudstone Curio that I've held on to for years. I'm like, I love this art. I love this card. I don't have a deck for it. Maybe this is the deck. I feel in my gut. This just makes sense. But at any rate, any sort of ideas going into this that we just want to put on the table? And this is obviously to you guys in the audience as well. If you guys have any thoughts on Helga Skittish Seer, if you have a casual list, let us know how you pilot it. But Will, thoughts?
It depends on how hard we want to go into this deck for which is the very first time I can say this on stream because we're not brewing CDH, we are brewing casual.
Hmm.
So, we had a quick back and forth when we were talking about the setup, and I brought up budget for a land base. And the two bottlenecks that players will put on themselves when brewing casual is basically power and budget. So, how expensive do you want to make things, and how hard do you want to go? How much do you want to try to combo or close out the game quickly?
Mm-hmm.
So, with Helga, for instance, we can do Cloudstone Curio stuff, Intruder Alarm stuff, Tidespout Tyrant, or Hullbreak Horror stuff, where we just do da 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 and win the game. Alternatively, we can just do big dumb spells, do big dumb things, couple buff effects on Helga, make a ton of mana, and then giant X cost Hydras for like 20 damage.
Mm-hmm.
So we have options. Which way do we want to go, Patrick?
Man, so a lot of the haste enabling is in red, but we do have some haste enabling effects in these colors. It would be cool to have a handful of things that obviously, Helga's drawing for us, but there's plenty of cards that say draw based off of power or draw based off of value in green. And I think that this is one of those decks where we can benefit off of that. So I think some of our draw engines for this list, I mean, is Mystic fine and casual? I assume so. I feel like Mystic Remora is maybe not as good because I feel like there's just going to be a lot of creatures in a casual setting, and this deck, as a matter of fact, it's going to be creature oriented. So that's good against opposing.
Great, not because a lot of creatures. It's because a lot of people aren't doing bursty stuff early. Like you'll get a draw off of someone playing a 2-cost rock on turn 2, but that's really it.
Up the beanstalk? Yeah, true. That's definitely a cap on power for casual. What Will was saying, yeah. Concordant Crossroads, by the way, Stormtrooper, is exactly what I was thinking. Like, we can have a Concordant Crossroads in here, and that gives everything haste, but I mean, I don't care.
Doesn't matter if we give our opponents things haste if they're dead.
So these are the stacks. I'm just going to just do every other a couple times and try to
just shuffle it like an actual deck.
I'm trying. Did you know the mana vault that came with the Fallout Secret Lair is like extremely expensive? I had no idea it was like in the thousands.
Huh.
Dude. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, because I think it was a thing that you could get. It was a an optional inclusion that some of the secret layers had, but it was like 1% of them or something like that.
Yeah, it was absurd. Like, yeah, I feel so bad for people that didn't pull that from their thing. I had no idea though. I would have bought into that secret lair if I knew it would be so expensive aftermarket.
Well, you wouldn't have gotten a mana vault more likely than not.
I know. Well, I mean, how many options were there beyond the mana vault? I know like the Hatsumi Miko is also doing the same thing, right? There's like an exclusive card for people that buy this set, which is actually a brilliant idea. Wizards, great job on doing that, because that just adds to the collectability of the whole thing. Also, let me know, guys, if you are interested in getting like, I haven't ordered one, but the what is it, Festival in a Box, the
mystery booster too. I'm gonna be getting one.
I really want it.
There's a lot of cool things in there.
It's like $250.
Yeah.
Am I worth it? Well, that's the question. Am I worth it? I think I am, but I just spent so much. Me and my wife literally bought a car. So I'm going to be paying that off for a little bit. And not only that, like, I've just got so many bills, but I also need to pay for tennis classes, because that's kind of important too. But I could afford one box of this set. I mean, there's so many cool reprints, dude. I want that Walking Ballista. I know you don't like it, but I like the Walking Ballista a lot.
It is my favorite art, my favorite bordering, but I hate the combination.
I think if I pulled that Urza, I would be super inclined to play that Future Sight border Urza.
Yeah, I love
100%.
that. The new
Also,
art is cool. The future site bordering with that art is really cool. I like it.
so Will, I'm gonna do this right pile. I'll do the left pile for you. But yeah, yeah, that looks good. A much needed Thassa's Oracle reprint, I guess for us. I don't know. I assume other formats play it. It's just it wins the game. Why wouldn't you play it? Big boy untapper. Sorry guys, I want to catch up with all your comments and actually, Will, do you mind just reading through, I guess, anything? Again, any Helga Skittish Seer thoughts, please share. We will be building this in just a second.
Beanstalk, someone brought that up. Concord, the Crossroads, Intruder Alarm, Big Boy Untappers. People also don't focus on buying good lands in casual. Those get upgraded slowly over time when you learn you like the deck. And then good luck on the packs for Will. uh, I just buy precons for lands, basics, rocks, all those kind of, or the land base and the rocks.
You have no idea. He's pulled so well in the past.
Yeah.
This is your pack. I mean, honestly, obviously, I don't care. Hopefully we both pull well, but I'm gonna zoom in on my face. I'm sorry. I figure we can open like 2 packs each, and then we'll get into this casual build. So humorous.
I love that we thought we found like a printing setup error initially, where it's like all the good cards are on the right side, and then it's like, no, that wasn't it. I was just getting lucky.
Dude, you got a Eluge the Shoreless Sea.
Yeah, it's the thing that I thought was a squid until I looked at the art more closely.
You got Maha! It Feathers Night. It's Feathers Night,
nice.
Whatever. Tender Wild Guide. Oh.
Hey, the nice dork for Livia Thrasios.
Hey.
I needed a Foxglove.
Dude,
I no longer need a Foxglove.
You literally were just saying this. Will's like, I hope I pull some of the cards I need. Well, pack 1, so far so good. Lunar Convocation. Ooh, Mountain. Oh shit, this mountain looks great.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, I didn't really look at the lands that you can get in this set, but Quaker Tusk Oats. Okay. Moonstone Harbinger, Feather of Flight, Polywop. I really want to play some limited for this set. Like, drafting this set looks so fun. There's just so many cool things you can do with these cards. Daggerfang Duo, Shore Up, and we're back to that token.
Nice.
Cool card. Oh shit, yeah, dude. Gift this.
Yeah.
Gift this. This looks
Gift the fancy fish.
It looks so good. At any rate, Primal Vigor, help. Great pull. Yeah, seriously, Heartbeat of Spring. Yeah, definitely keep a short list of what you'd like to see in Helga, guys, for sure. I'm interested in everything. I personally know that I do want to do something with Intruder Alarm. I don't know if that means we run like that enchantment tutor creature. I mean, I think it's sort of core to the strategy, though. I think it could be core to the strategy, so I definitely want to see.
The deck can get away with running worse tutor effects just because we make a bunch of mana for them.
God, these tokens look so good, man.
Yeah.
I want to look at the back of this token as well. Kidnap. Sorry. Look at this rabbit. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie, the adorable nature of this set really gets me, man.
You can use the rabbits for your citizen tokens for Oswald.
Oh, can I?
Not really, but like,
I mean,
they're white-green citizens, but no one's gonna care about the green.
Okay,
Ooh,
okay.
Infamous Cruel Claw, nice.
I do like. Ooh, a Fabled Passage. Nice reprint if you don't have one.
Yeah, it's good in standard right now because it's always good in standard.
Insatiable Frugivore. Jackdaw Savior. Okay. Wanted a copy.
Fun burb KCI stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if there's anything in the common uncommon territory that I necessarily need, so just skip through these. Actually, that's not true. I think there are some gifted cards down here that I will need. Nice.
Yeah.
Heartbeat of Spring, yeah. So far, so good, folks. Great pull. Oh, God. All right, everybody. Wish Will luck.
Indeed.
The hits keep coming. Pinch formation. Should we start in reverse because all the fun stuff is like at the front?
We can if you want.
Yeah, let's do that instead. Kindle Spark Duo.
Unpinger.
Psychic Whirl. Ooh, one of my favorite pieces of art from the set. This is just so damned good. Nils, my god. Kill me. You kill me every time. Wildfire Howl. Bark Knuckle Boxer. Amazing Island. Okay,
Oh,
Kitsa, Otterball Elite. Okay, well,
neat. I was thinking of getting one, but I was thinking of not actually getting it because I thought it'd be too expensive.
hey,
People are using that.
dude, it's such a good card. As a matter of
Yeah,
fact, I would use this in this deck, Helga.
yeah.
Hell yeah. I mean, it's just good value. Just copy another value creature you have. Nissa who shakes the world, dude. Nice. Very, very cool. These are in the commander sets, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Um, it's in the collector packs only.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I'm mistaken.
Another one.
Another Maha, and of course your token. Okay.
Man, apparently I'm getting all of the Mahas.
Yeah, save some for the rest of us, man. Play Colossal Dreadmaw Tribal, 6 mana, 6/6 with trample. It doesn't get much better than that, right? So guys, this is the last pack, and then we'll be jumping into the stream, I promise. Thanks for humoring us. Hope you like pack cracking as much as we do. I don't really watch Rip and Ships, but maybe if we open an online store, I would love to sell TCGs, honestly. I feel like I would do an okay job ripping and shipping. Starscape Cleric. Such cool tokens for the set. Mind Spiral. Veteran Guard Mouse. Thistledown Players. Love it. Might
Ooh,
of the Meek.
God cantrip.
I'll hold on to it. I'm sure you'll want it or need it. Driftgloom Coyote. Sinister Monolith. Value Rally. Yellowwind Moose. Got another Mountain. Wishing Well. Bloodroot
Hey, it's your
Apothecary.
favorite squirrel.
Yeah, everyone's least favorite squirrel if it's opposite you. We have Camellia, the Seed Miser.
Oh yeah, that's the food kind of combo commander.
We have Azure Beastbinder.
Which one is that?
I don't know. Rat Rogue. Can't be
Oh,
blocked by
it's the thing
creatures.
that animates stuff. Yeah, it's
Okay.
cool.
Meh. Dowerport Mage. I honestly think this card is a bomb.
Yeah, that card
Like,
is really good.
yeah, this is like yeah. Whenever one or more other creatures you control leave the battlefield without dying, draw a card. Yeah, this is going to
Mix
be
any
good.
flicker effect, mix any bounce effect, mix in Dothy Void Walker if your opponent has her to rest in peace. If you have it, then
Hmm.
do dumb things.
I mean, the other bit of news here is that it just does it itself too. So it's like
Hmm.
such a good card, man. Glad I got that. I might actually use that. I mean, I could see using this in a casual setting for sure. It's just good protection. Or if I have like a Eternal Witness or something I want to play, I
Yeah.
see that being pretty good. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging with us as we crack some packs. It's like the highlight of my week. The R&D cards in your hand in library are Colossal Dreadmaw. What? Wait, we're not okay. Enough. We're do we really want Colossal Dreadmaw in here, people?
No, no.
Okay, so Helga Skittish Seer. I don't have a land base here because I don't really know what's casual. So you can steer me in the right direction. I think a
We're
Triome's
also
fine in like
we're
fetch.
also gonna need to figure out how many lands we want in the deck, kind of as we build it. So lands are probably gonna be last for the deck.
Probably 30 plus, right? Like 32
I
more?
think I think considering our curve is high, it's probably gonna be like 34 to 36.
All right.
Because
So
we're
I
not running the fast mana stuff, which means that we need more lands to kind of make up for it.
I know for a fact that we want Intruder Alarm in the deck.
Indeed.
I also know we want Cloudstone Curio.
We also probably want Tide Spout and Hull Break because they're other curios.
Oh, do we use Displacer Kitten?
Uh,
Oh, it flickers them.
yeah, Flickers doesn't return to hand.
No, let's do
It still
Tides.
gives value, but the thing is, we're also playing creatures, and Displacer Kitten is non-creature.
Hullbreaker Horror. All right, what other bounce effects can you guys think of that would be good for the list, or ways to repeat our creatures? Also, any sort of untappers are really valuable here too, because we want to get as many activations off of Helga as possible. Am I correct? So,
Chakram Retriever is good as well.
oh yeah, here
Yeah,
we.
why am I cursed pointed that one out? A friend of mine had that in their list, and I forgot that was a thing.
Good call though. This is a really good card. It's weird. It kind of wow. It's over $1 for this uncommon, but whenever you cast a spell during your turn, untap target creature. I mean, that's fantastic. Again, if there are any other untappers you guys can think of, feel free to holler. I'd love to hear them. Mist of Lorien.
It's a good
Um,
bounce board wipe effect. Target a permanent, replicate for a blue, and then bounce all permanents of target permanent CMC value.
oh, wow. Hold on. All non-land permanents? That's pretty massive. Wow.
Pretty good.
No, it's really
Yep.
not bad. I like replicating this too. I see what you mean. It's like a pseudo board wipe. It's sorcery, but I don't think that's the end of the world.
Now,
Yeah, we can.
very, very funny tech that we could run, Patrick. Panglacial Worm.
No,
It's a consistent 4 or more drop creature that we can always find.
I mean, are we always? Hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Why not?
Uh, there's a card that's actually pretty good, and we probably want it. Momir Vig, Simic Visionary. Uh,
How often are we going to be searching our list? I guess is what I'm getting at.
we don't have to run it. We can
No,
consider it for
I
one of the
like it. I'll
cards.
put it. I'll put it on the Sorry, I'll put it
The
on the maybe
maybe,
board. Yeah.
yeah. But Momir Vig definitely goes in the deck because whenever you play a green creature, you Worldly Tutor, and then we can draw off of our Helga right after. So we just
What's it called? Can
Momir Vig,
you spell that?
Momirvig.
Okay. Whenever you play a green creature spell, you may search your library for. Oh, I see what you mean. Blue creature spell. Oh, and there's no limit on like the cost of the card either. Whenever you play a blue creature spell, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature, put it into your hand.
So
That's
we can
less
stack
important.
with Hazel so that we play green creature, tutor a thing to the top, and then draw off of Hazel or Helga, not Hazel.
Yeah, that's okay. Sorry, I want to catch up with some of the suggestions you guys have. Kira's follower is pretty solid, I think. Kira's follower is Simic for a card that untaps a permanent, if I'm not mistaken. So I think she can hit
Yep, yep.
lands as well. But in this instance, we're more interested. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of like this version. Hold up. I guess I'm just dead wrong. This version's sick as hell, though. Untap another target permanent you control. And then this is really good. I really love this card. Super good with Time Vault. Dramatic Reversal. Do we just run Dramatic Reversal for the sake of having Dramatic
We'd
Reversal?
run Twiddle over Dramatic Reversal if I'm being honest.
Right. Frogmite, Affinity for Artifacts. Are we going to be running a lot of artifacts in this deck? Didn't you get a Frogmite like this?
Yeah, I think one of my cards is the new Frogmite, but I don't think we're running a ton of artifacts. I think we're going just general big creatures. So Frogmite's probably not going to be great. There is a version of this deck though that runs a ton of artifacts and then runs the affinity giant thing.
Okay. I'm gonna look into all permanents, and I'm gonna look into Bant specifically. Anything that says untap. So we'll start from the bottom up. So I want to kind of do the same search for a few things here, but I think we hit most of the bouncy bouncers. It's probably enough. A Feto
You
Alchemist, Elgin, like, I can't help but feel there's got to be something better than a Feto Alchemist. Like, I know we can use Seeker of Skybreak instead. I just saw an affinity. You just saw an affinity? Yeah, that frog. Wait, what are you talking about? Ancestral Statue, Intruder Alarm to draw. Oh, yeah. I mean, isn't Ancestral... Yeah, Ancestral Statue is exactly 4, right?
well, uh, so it's or if you cast a creature that costs 4 more for Helga, I believe.
Yeah, dude. And Ancestral Statue just
Ancestral
bounces
Statue.
it just bounces
Oh
itself.
yeah, you're right. If we
Dude.
get cost reduction with that, then you can close the game. Do we want to make this an
Abso.
artifact creature version instead?
Oh. No, it could be a healthy mix. Am I wrong?
Okay, so just using that as an engine with intruder, and then closing out with intruder alarm and all that.
It doesn't have to be infinite for me either. I think like just enough is solid. But yes, any other self-bouncing creatures you can think of that would trigger Helga, like the Shrieking Drake, obviously. I mean, I don't know, is Shrieking Drake bad? I don't
Probably. I think
know.
the statue is the best. But I think we can try to find. I think we want the ETB untapped creatures like Great Oak Guardian and the Mummy that just say when you play them, untap a thing.
What's the mummy? Yeah, great.
I will find it really quickly.
Yeah, Great Oak Guardian untaps all your creatures. Kind of a common Savala combo. Here again, like we're not trying to go that hard, but Instill Energy. Enchanted creature can attack as though it has haste. Untap enchanted creature. Cash Raiders. Sorry, I'll look that up.
Yeah, so we have Great Oak Guardian, we have the
Huh?
Sky Husser,
Do
or
you like
is
do you like
yeah,
Cash
great.
Raiders? At the beginning of your upkeep, return a permanent you control to its owner's hand. Is that a little slow or?
We probably don't want that. There's also the new frog that does that for 1 green, and it's a May.
Scurry Oak and Rosy Cotton. Damn, look at that Meekstone.
We already have ways of closing out the game. We're gonna be drawing our deck very easily.
Do you imagine?
Yeah.
All right, let me look into some other things
Oh yeah,
here.
but Great Oak Guardian and Sky Husser, and then
What'd you just call me? Wait, Sky
it's either
Husser.
Winged Husser or Sky Husser. I think it's Sky.
Hussar?
Yeah, S or Hussar.
It's Leviosa. Not
Well, actually,
Leviosa.
I've listened to a song that uses that word, so I know how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Oh,
As the
okay.
winged hussars arrived.
You may choose not to untap Blackstaff, blah, blah, blah. Nah, not interested. Damn, look at that art. That's so sick. Discard a card from your hand, tap or untap. No, I'm not trying to discard nothing. I mean, I could even use like a Magerite Stone in this deck. That would be fine, right?
Yeah, you can use all the. There we go. Sparring Mummy. That's the other thing I was looking at. 3 and a white for 3/3 that ETB untaps a creature.
I'm so confused. Did I pass Seeker of Skybreak? Or is Seeker of Skybreak 2 mana? I
It's
didn't.
2 mana.
Dude, okay. Cool. Sorry, what was the name of this card again?
Sparring Mummy. It's a 4 mana creature that when it enters, it untaps a creature.
It's pretty good. What do you think of effects like that? Arachnoid adaptation? I'll have to tell you. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains yes. So the answer is probably Elgin. I like it. I like these untap effects with a side of buff specifically for this list because it means that we can get bigger, better things out. Right. So if our hand has like the Hull Break Horror and we want to cheat it out early, any sort of temporary buff is going to get us there. Tidespout's in the deck. Yeah, Abso. For sure. Tidespout Tyrant's in the deck. I don't know. Are there better versions of this card, Arachnoid Adaptation? I'll put it in for now. I like it. I like it a lot because what you can do is, I mean, like Helga's ability, it doesn't require you do the thing, right? So you add mana and you can spend it on XYZ. So we can just tap Helga. We can tap Helga to produce the mana. Actually, are we able to tap Helga and then while Helga's mana ability is on the stack, and it is a mana ability, can I respond to that? I don't think so.
No, it's
Is
a mana
it is
ability.
in fact a mana ability. None of the other text matters. Okay. Yeah, it'd be cool if we could like add the untap and buff her while it's on the stack, but clearly no. Tidespout, Goreclaw, Muldrifter, Derevi, you say? What do you think about Derevi
That's
here?
Muldrifter opens up an interesting thing as well because there's creatures that we can play for less than 4 mana that cost 4 more mana, like evoke effects.
Oh, does that count?
That should count. So we can use some of the lesser uh creatures with the bad effects to still draw off our commander, like Foundation Breaker. It's literally just a sorcery speed naturalize, but it costs 4 mana, but you play for 2 mana, so we draw a card and get a counter on our commander. So it's good.
Is it a creature? What is this?
Yep, Foundation Breaker. It's an element with a elemental with evoke.
Okay. Any affinity or evoke or alternative casting cost that still gives us the mana value of the creature guys, feel free to holler with any of those creatures because I think those are good ways to cheese Helga's ability for sure, like Will was suggesting.
Yeah, we got Null Drifter as well. It's Muldrifter, but it can be an Eldrazi.
Oh, that's new. That's new,
Yeah,
new. Does this deck want Mage Stone? Just to untap Helga for 1 mana?
I mean that's like 1 mana make 8 mana or something. It'll let us continue. I
You
don't
want?
hate it.
Do you like it in like it and Thousand Year Elixir?
Yeah, I think those are fine.
This is all Oswald tech, by the way. Thousand Year Elixir's nice because if Helga dies, you know, we obviously have the ability to use her again immediately, but she won't be buff, so unless we use the Ozolith, keep the counters. Is that even valuable? Like, should we even bother with Ozolith?
Uh, Probably not. I think we rebuild counters pretty quickly.
Patriarch seal anyone?
Actually,
Yeah, solitude or subtlety. Maybe both actually. Solitude and subtlety.
yeah. I mean, just playing them to draw a card at the cost of exiling something from a hand isn't horrible.
Just filtering. That's all it really
Yeah.
is. Can you guys tell me what the green one is again? Is that even worth it?
Endurance, but it's 3 cost.
Oh, never mind. Definitely not worth it. What is this?
But we do want Mull Drifter, Null Drifter, Foundation Breaker. We probably want Aether Snipe.
Aether Snipe?
It's
What's
a bounce target non-land permanent, and then it's 1 blue for evoke, and it's 6 cost otherwise.
these are all good suggestions though, guys. Thank you. I do like these cards in the deck. Yeah, and if there are any again like are there convoke creatures? Are there I know there's affinity obviously. Anything to help cheese out creatures. Tidebinder Mage. These reprints are great. This Sabo's Web looks so good. How many artifacts are we gonna run here? Like, are there any major artifacts you can think to run?
Hmm. Not entirely sure.
I mean, other than Soul Ring, am I allowed to Mana Crypt?
We probably have a Great Henge just for the sake of we're playing big things and we draw more cards.
Excuse me. I mean, I like Great Henge as a card, so yeah, I'll definitely throw it in here. Is it the Great Henge?
It is.
The Great Henge. Okay.
Respect its name. It is the Great Henge, good sir.
I think I'm off of untappers at this point. Yeah, anything higher than 3, I'm going to be ill interested in. And I think we have enough as it stands. I don't like them all to be creatures, though, because I
Now,
feel like creatures are the most
Patrick,
susceptible.
do we
Yeah.
want to use a sap resin legate? It's the thing that if you control an island and an opponent controls a mountain, you can cast it for free.
Sorry, I'll add Patriarch Seal. What was your suggestion again?
Sap resin legate, that's the weird free cost guy
Oh,
in blue.
um, maybe. Do you want him?
I mean,
Well,
it
how
is a free draw and something that we can use off of Cloudstone Curio for easier setup,
how
but
big how big is he?
1/3 flyer.
Hmm.
Pretty much there is just play it. If you have any bounce effects, you just draw a card off your commander and then make it bigger.
A hobby Calaria is kind of cool. I feel like this would make for a really cool casual deck. Also, Old Man of the Sea. God, haven't seen this card in a while. This old guy sucks. Sowing. Wait. Bloom Tender. Bloom Tender. I don't know how I feel about Bloom Tender, Will. I don't know if you have any feelings on Bloom Tender.
We probably don't need Bloom Tender. Granted, our commander is all 3 colors, so Bloom Tender's active very quickly, but we
How
don't
do,
need it.
how do you feel about Pemin's Aura?
Just pay a blue and then get a lot of mana. We can do Freed from the Real and Pemminzor if we really just want to get a lot of mana for our creatures.
Are those the only ones that are enchantment based untappers right now?
There's like 5 more, but all of them have some weird other part to them that makes them not as good. Like one
Okay.
is tap a creature you control and pay 1 to untap the enchanted creature. The other one is discard a card and pay 1 and untap the enchanted creature. There's one that's pay 4 to untap the enchanted or to untap a creature you control.
How do you feel about Retreat to Coral Helm? The
What does it do?
landfall. Landfall, you may tap or untap target creature, scry 1. It's modal.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not bad. If we
Yeah.
had a way to cheat in lands, which I think will run, right? Am I wrong? Like, are we going to run Kadama's Reach and stuff like that?
Yeah, we'll probably have some
Okay,
kind of
well,
land ramp.
retreat to Coral Helm seems good to me then. We're gonna have to make a lot of cuts, by the way, guys. I think really right now it's just sussing out what we want in the deck in these given effects, and then we'll find the most efficient, at least in a casual setting, ways to play about. Um, ways to play about these. That's why I like the even natural turn 2 bloom turn 3 commander. Defiler of Vigor. Sorry, I'll look up Defiler of Vigor right now.
Isn't that the you can pay life for green permanent cards?
As additional cost to cast green permanent spells, you may pay 2 life. Those spells cost 1 green less to cast if you paid life this way. This effect reduces only the amount of green mana spent. Whenever you cast a green permanent spell, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Defiler of Vigor. This is weird. I don't know how I feel. Is it good?
Uh,
I
well, the
well,
reason why it's good is because it buffs our commander. That's the main reason why it would be
right.
included.
Yeah, the reducing the cost of green mana. I'm trying to think of like we don't have very many big dumb green things yet. But I mean I could see us running like a Bane of Progress, right?
Now, I have a funny and dumb idea. We could
Okay.
do prized pig. 1 to green for, I think it's 1/3 that when you gain life, you put a prize counter on it. When it gets its 3rd counter on it, you remove all 3 and untap it, and it can tap for 1 mana of any color. We're gaining life when casting
I
things, so it does
know.
kind of work.
Let's look, guys, if there's any other gain life synergies you can think of, let us know. I like the idea, though, of because honestly, it feels like such a throwaway line on Helga, the fact that you just gain a life. But if there is anything that is life relevant, let us know. I don't know if that's good enough, though, Will. Like,
It's just a nice early ramp piece that gives a little bit more mana later. I don't think it's
yeah.
fantastic, but I think it's something to look at.
No. I agree. I agree. Here, I'm off of the untap effects. I think we have enough. But Court of Garenbrig. Let me look.
Do we want to use Emoti, Imoti? Uh, 5 mana spell with Cascade. Your cards that cost 6 or more have Cascade.
Cascade lets you cast the card off the top
Yep.
for free.
Yep.
Um, I don't know how many things this is gonna hit right now, but it's not bad.
Well, whenever it hits something, it's going to draw something immediately afterwards because it costs 4 more. So it's going to net us multiple cards, which will hopefully let us keep going.
I don't mind it, dude. Yeah, I honestly don't mind it. Like, I like Emoti a lot. Karuga. God, I love Karuga. Is a white border version now? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there is from the mystery set.
God, this art is so sick, though. If you guys don't know Karuga, you better learn. Whenever Karuga, the macro sage, enters the battlefield, draw a card for each other permanent you control with mana values 3 or greater. So, for me,
I think Karuga's just good in the deck. It's going to be like draw 4-ish and then draw off of casting it. Just having it in the 99 is pretty good.
you don't want to make it the companion?
We could make Karuga the companion,
How
but
many
then we
things?
lose like Intruder Lealarm, and we lose Furio.
Intruder Alarms 3.
Yeah, can't run anything that costs
3 or greater.
oh, 3
Oh,
or greater. Okay, yeah, never mind. We can probably run Karuga then.
your starting deck can only. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that works. Never
Is
mind.
it
I
weird
was
to make this a Karuga companion deck? Let's
We're
let's
already very close to Karuga. It's not making us lose much by using Karuga, and then we just run the weird Karuga cards to make up for it.
let me look really quick. So Karuga says your deck can start with mana value 3 or greater and lands. Your starting deck contains only cards with mana 3 or greater lands. Okay. I mean, I'm kind
The
of
only
cool with.
reason why maybe not Karuga is if we want to run hardened scales effects to make it so our commander buffs itself a little bit faster.
Right. So we'd be missing out on Kiora's Follower, Mage Right Stone, Seeker of Skybreak, some of the lower end untaps, Soul Ring, and Arachnoid Adaptation. I mean, again, we don't have to make this. We do not have to make this a companion deck, but I like the idea of. I like the idea of just having it on tap, right? Because if I just need to pay 3 and I tap Helga to cast this, I think it works. Don't think the drawing is worth sacrifice of cheaper spells. Well, we don't really have too many cheaper spells yet. And are we trying to run 1-drop dorks and stuff like that? Well,
Uh, One drop dorks are probably worth it just to get our commander out turn 2 a little bit faster or a little bit more consistently.
ooh,
So,
how do you feel about Wave Sifter?
what's Wave Sifter?
You've never heard of Wave Sifter? Okay. It's 3
Probably.
generic and Simic. Don't worry. Evoke for a Simic. Whenever
Oh,
one Wave Sifter enters the battlefield, investigate 2.
uh, we could. It's just a thing that we will use to draw a card and put a counter on our commander, and then later on when we're in a bad spot, we can draw 2 cards.
Guys, let me know. Should we Karuga as a companion or in the 99?
Well, if we use Karuga as the companion, we can definitely include Displacer Kitten to do the dumb Displacer Kitten stuff. Because even if we're playing
Mm-hmm.
mostly creature spells, the occasional Displacer Kitten on Karuga is good.
Yeah, I'm
And
curious.
that's still a little bit slow. We just use bounce effects.
Don't mind my misspelling there. I'm curious though as to your thoughts on that, guys. Do you think Karuga would be better as just on tap, like whenever we have like what Will was saying, like just you have a Displacer Kitten available, or you're doing the things with Intruder Alarm, but like your single draws are not getting you there. Just being able to pay 3 out of your land base for the Karuga and just drop it, it doesn't feel bad. Lose out on 1 blue untap enchantments.
So,
What are the blue untap enchantments we're
no,
losing
no,
out
no.
on?
Freed from the Real and Pemin's Aura, we can still run both of
Yeah,
those.
yeah. They're both
My
3-drop.
my thing
So
is we're gonna lose good tutors if we want to run Karuga because we can't run what's it called? The one that's a green and a white search for a creature, put it to hand.
oh, Eladamri's
Yeah, Eladamri's call?
call.
Yeah.
Eladamri's call. Yeah,
So I
no, I agree with you guys. I don't know. Anytime I see like a companion that doesn't really push me too hard to use it as a companion, it's just a 100th card in the deck. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just a bonus card. But I get what you're saying. We can put it in the main for now, unless there's any other objections, or we see that it just makes more sense as a companion. But let me do Wave Sifter. I do like this call. And as a matter of fact, if you guys don't mind humoring me, I kind of want to look over all of the evokers in these colors.
there's not that many.
Oh, that's perfect then. I feel like we've hit a majority of them, so we're really only going to look at the ones that are 4 and up. So right here. Briarhorn will enters the battlefield. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Flash.
Potentially good just because it buffs our commander, then puts counter on it, and then draws us a card.
So
So
it reads +4/+4, gain a life, draw a card for 2.
yeah,
I mean that
which isn't bad for
no
2 mana.
no that seems good to me. Briarhorn. No, Briarhorn. Dawn Fluke. When Dawn Fluke comes into play, prevent the next 3 damage that would be dealt to target creature or player this turn. Evoke for 1. Not as high. Foundation Breaker we have in the deck.
So I think for most of our deck now, we just want more weirdly good 4-cost creatures and then some tutor effects because I think if we hit Charkham Retriever, we can start going through our deck pretty quickly. Then if we hit Great Oak Guardian in one of our bounce guys, or if we hit yeah, like Tidespout Tyrant or something. If we hit any of our untapped creatures in Tidespout Tyrant, we win, or Cloudstone Curio, we win. So I think just having a couple tutors in the deck would make it a little bit better because I don't think we need to tutor Intruder Alarm. If we find it, great. If not, okay. And we just kind of put good band stuff in for the rest of the deck.
All right, so what are we missing at this point? We have some of our solutions for. Well, are we adding Displacer Kitten? Sorry.
No. We're not playing enough non-creature spells for Displacer Kitten to be useful.
It's going to go on the maybe board. All right,
Yeah.
so a Panglacial Worm is also on the maybe board for now, but we have our untap effects. We are missing. Sorry, let's just talk about what we have. I'm sorry. We have untap effects. We have some big dumb creatures that are 4 costs. I honestly think we have enough of them right now. I mean, we're at 30. We're at like 33 cards. Give me 1 second. We're at 34 cards. So should we have more outside of Helga? Should we have draw effects based off of CMC or power or anything like that? Should we consider any more of
Climb the
those?
Beanstalk is probably good. It's a ETB draw card, and then whenever you cast a 5 or higher cost card, draw a card.
Climb the Beanstalk?
I think so. I think that's the name of the card.
Mm. Oh, also, if there's any good MDFCs you guys can think of, up the beanstalk.
Up the beanstalk, yeah. There
I
you
don't
go.
know, 5 or greater. We don't really have that many 5 or greater though. Like
We have
if
a
it,
pretty good handful of 5 or greater, and it's ETB draws a card, and then whenever you cast, draw another card. So it's 2 mana, draw a card, and then draw
okay,
more than one over the span of the game.
up the beanstalk. Thank you guys. 20 toad for the meme. Bernard Ginger Sculptor is a good for cost value creature. Yes, and you know, we should still be considering all of our 4 and up creatures. Like we're probably missing some good utilities, so please, like if you know of any, shout out. Obviously Helga is not going to have a great time of casting this, and I'm sorry, I did see your call for untap Helga a lot. If the plan is to untap Helga a lot, Galadriel Light of Valinor would be good value. Heliod Sun God. The Haruk enchantment. So Bernard himself, each creature you control, that it's a food or a golem, yada yada. Do you want
Protection.
Bernard? Huh?
He's protection for our commander, but we have probably better ways to protect our commander. I'd go Sun Titan over him.
Yeah. Yeah. Sun Titan specifically, whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you may return target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's not a bad idea. The Haruk enchantment. I don't know what that is. I don't know what this card is. Birds of Paradise, Delighted Halfling, Noble Hierarch. Do you want to add... Okay, so what form of ramp do we want to add, by the way? Like, I'm sort of focusing on 4 and up creatures, but do we want to add dorks? Do we want to add land ramp? Do we want to add our wild growth, stuff like that? I'll probably add wild growth anyways, but wild growth and Utopia Sprawl, I think those are kind of shoo-ins if we're...
Yeah, and you know what we should be adding to the deck that we totally forgot to add to the deck?
Mm-hmm.
Sakashima and Spark Double.
Oh.
They're
I'm
4 mana, they come your commander, and then we get multiple Helgas.
right. They are weaker versions though to start, but Sakashima, I mean, he breaks the legendary rule, so obviously Sakashima, I think,
And,
makes a good deal of sense of 1,000 Faces.
yep, and Spark Double is a similar idea. Wait. This is stupid, but this is also genius. What do you think of Nanogen conversion in the deck, Patrick?
Right. This is a card we've talked about here on the channel. Choose target creature you control. Each other creature you control becomes a copy of that creature, except it isn't legendary.
It's each creature becomes a copy of the creature, not just you control. So
Right, but
in
it's funny because like it only really benefits us.
yeah. And then if we play any forward up cost thing, we draw a bunch of cards and that put a bunch of counters on the copies of Helga, which will
Ooh.
make it so that we get more and more mana,
Even
and then
if
we
we
can
just
kind of
had like 3 creatures, I feel like we can snowball really quickly.
yeah. Because we just need Nanogen in hand and then a Helga with a couple counters on it, and then we just go Nanogen, tap Helga, play like 2 big things, draw 6 cards, put 2 counters on the other 2 Helgas, keep going, keep going.
So before we move away from the draw effects, thank you for the suggestion of Garuk's Uprising and Seedborn Muse, draw or counters, Tribute to the World Tree, Beast Whisperer. How many more of these effects do we want? And is Rhystic Study acceptable in Casual Commander?
Rhystic Study is probably fine for our list. For Garuk's Uprising,
Or a greater power, draw a card. Creatures you control have trample. Whenever a creature with 4 greater power enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card.
fine. I think it's fine.
Fine enough to add, or
We can keep it off for right now because I don't think we're going to be having draw issues for the deck because our commander gives us draw and we have a couple other things that draw us cards. And if we have even a handful of tutors, I think we're in a great position.
you want to win with Epic Struggle, Abzo? That's kind of nasty. Um, I think we're good without Epic Struggle though. Personally, I kind of want to go for beats here. Um, hmm. We don't really have a way of closing out the game, do we?
I mean, if we do any of the haste enabler things, Concord and the Crossroads, that's game.
We don't have Cordon Crossroads in the deck yet, but do you want to add Terastodon?
What does Trastodon do?
8 cost, 9/9, enters the battlefield. You may destroy up to
Oh,
3 target
yep,
non.
yep. It's triple Beast Within, but can't
Mm-hmm.
hit creatures. Yeah, it's good removal.
Too costly or just right?
It's good for high-end removal. We can also run, I think it's Angel of Serenity, which is ETB exile 3 creatures from the board and graveyard. Then when it leaves the field, you put all those creatures into their owner's hands.
Angel of Serenity.
I believe so. It's 7 mana. It's a little bit of graveyard recursion for us, and kind of a pseudo bounce effect if we need it.
That's true. Could
Apex Devastator. Thoughts on that? 10 mana, Cascade, 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 Cascade.
Do you want Angel of Serenity, or would you rather we just go for other forms of board wipe? I guess creature-based board wipe is still the best board wipe for us, just based off of our deck. I'm sorry. Yeah, wait. I'll look at what you're talking about first, but do you want Angel of Serenity?
I think it's good enough because it's a lower cost Terastodon and it can recur our graveyard for us, so it's not always just removal.
All right. What was the other thing you mentioned?
Apex Devastator, 10
Oh,
mana
yeah.
for a 10/10 with Cascade, 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 Cascade.
God, I have a copy of this lying around here somewhere. I mean, yes. I think the answer is yes. Oh, should we be looking into more?
We should probably be doing a low cost stuff for here. The last thing that we may want to look into is Apex Ultrasaur, which is just 9 mana,
Kill
10
a
10
thing.
ETB, and when it gets damaged, fight a thing.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice way to just close, like nuke the board.
Yep, it's a board wipe.
You want it? You get it, Will. If it's what
It's
you
not
want.
bad. It's definitely a way to. It's a good one-side board wipe.
So, guys, what are the other? I see your Genesis Wave. It's used to,
Genesis Wave does not work well because we
yeah,
are not able to pay mana into it from our commander.
right. Gulta, the spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total power of creatures you control. I don't mind Gulta. My thing is, I'm looking for a man in finance, trust fund, 6/5, blue eyes. You understand? No, I'm looking for destroy or exile. On a creature. What other mass board wipe creatures are there? That's really what
Bane of Progress.
I got Beta Progress in.
Okay.
But no, I'm with you on that. So do we add the Ulamogs of the world? Do we add? We haven't really even considered that. Do we need to?
Probably not.
Imagine just dropping a Kozilek on them. Arcane Proxy enters the battlefield if you cast it. Exile target instant or sorcery card with mana value less than or equal to Arcane Proxy's power from the graveyard.
We can use Silverback Elder as well. It's a 2 green, green, green for a 5/7. It says when you cast a creature, choose one, and it's either naturalize, gain 4 life, or look at the top 5 and put a land from among them onto the battlefield tapped.
Name again?
Silverback Elder turns every creature we play into a naturalize.
Do you think any of these Dell creatures are worth it?
Nah, I don't think we need them.
Silverback Elder. I kind of dig that. Giant from Eldrazi. The Giant from Eldrazi? Awakening Sun's Avatar.
The Giant from Eldraine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Awakening Sun's Avatar. I don't think I know what this is. Oh, yes, I do know what this is.
You mean Bone Crusher Giant?
If you cast it from your hand, destroy all non-dinosaur creatures. I mean, obviously this affects us. Do you like this as a proper board wipe, Will?
Uh, eh,
Also, we
nah.
haven't really considered X in the cost of creature spells, guys. If you want to look at some X cost creatures, we can. I don't know how good they are necessarily.
There's a few that are worth talking about. Genesis Hydra isn't too bad. But we can use Hydroid Krasis, X green blue for a Jellyfish Hydra Beast. Enter when it enters, you gain half X life and half X, and then draw half X cards each rounded down. It's a flying trample with that enters
Dude,
with X counters on it.
I remember Hydroid Crassus.
Yeah,
Justin's Cube had a copy of Hydroid Crassus for a moment, and like it was so fun to play, as well as that Sharknado card. Nezahal, Primal Tide.
we could do Nezahal. We can also do Lifeblood Hydra, X triple green for an XX Trampler that when it dies you draw X cards. Or when it dies, you draw cards equal to its power, but it's just green, 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 draw X cards inevitably.
Cyclone Summoner. Enters battlefield. If you cast it from your hand, return all permanents to their owner's hands except giants, wizards, and lands. Yo, Cyclone Summoner's pretty sick. I don't know, is that too devastating for our board? Realm Cloaked Giant, thank you. Realm Cloaked Giant. Destroy all non-giant creatures. As a board wipe slash body. I actually kind of dig that.
I don't think we need board wipes if we have like consistent removal through a bunch of the other things we have.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. What was the card you suggested after Nezahal? The
Oh, the Lifeblood Hydra.
okay.
Just a big dumb trampler that can threaten lethal while also threatening to draw you like 10 cards.
Has to die though, right?
Yep.
Okay. I could screw with Lifeblood Hydra. You may exile 2 green cards from your hand rather than pay this card's cost. Allosaurus Rider.
I
We need to
think
look
from
at all.
here we just add in the 1-drop ramp and then tutors. I don't think we need much more because we already have a bunch of bombs.
We should probably have some form of removal suite though. And are our bombs the most effective ones in these colors? Like I don't really know what casual bombs look like, so if I seem lost,
I think Tidespout is just a good enough effect in the deck because we have a bunch of things that if we tutor for them, we start going off in an insane degree. But even if we don't tutor, we
yo,
can still just draw cards, build a board.
I love aura shards. By the way, the suggestion destroy target artifact or enchantment. Do I run
Yep.
aura shards? Yeah, I think we run aura shards. Damn, copies are expensive these days, huh?
Yeah, it's because it doesn't get reprinted too often.
No, we'll run aura shards. And so, guys, give me your favorite tutors in these colors for our effects. So we have Eladomri's call. Do we use Sylvan Tutor, Worldly Tutor? Like, is that acceptable?
Um, they're probably fine because we're trying to run like higher-ish power on the casual scale while still being relatively casual.
Most of our things, like Finale of Devastation, is fine too. Or oh, actually,
I wouldn't run Finale only because
no.
we can't pay Helga mana into it. I'd rather things that tutor to the top of deck or hand because Helga draws stuff, so top of deck is fine.
What is it?
And then
Invasion of
Invasion isn't great because it's
also
a
X.
battle.
Tooth and
Yeah.
Nail. Tooth and Nail, we're not really going to be able to cast too easily. Oh, I see. Moonshaker Cavalry or Craterhoof to close out games as a final bomb.
I don't think we need them only because we can just play out everything, and if we want, we can do Tidespout, Hullbreak Horror, bounce everybody's boards game, and win with that.
Yeah, that's
If
probably enough.
if we just have a massive board and people have no lands or anything in play. We just kind of win.
You want to use Altar of Bone, Will?
We could turn those low-cost orcs into a threat card.
Right.
We could use Funa Shaman.
Yeah, we could. We could. I assume things like survival of the fittest are off the table.
Probably too expensive.
Right.
I'd say like no reserved list cards is probably the safest thing to do in casual.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Tutors, guys. Give me your favorite tutors.
What does Imperial Recruiter hit in our list?
Not much to my knowledge. Oh, we need to do our land base. Oh my god, that's gonna be
As
tragic.
long as we just say 36 lands, we're fine.
Oh, you just want to put like 12, 12, 12. Just call it a day.
If we want, we can just put in 36 commander or command towers to test out the deck, and that should be fine. Because
Yeah.
it's casual land bases are a we'll do it later kind of thing.
Okay. I'm just going off the top of the dome here. Crop rotation. Do you imagine us using a utility land that will be important for this list?
No,
You really don't? Okay.
no. I don't think there's anything that's going to be too relevant for the lands.
How about Enlightened Tutor? I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, finds intruder alarm.
Right? Okay. Green Sun Zenith. Land tax. Mask of the Mimic. Mystical Tutor.
No, we don't have spells that we care too much about.
Are we
Hail
running like?
tutor for a tutor.
Are we running any sort of like splashy counter spells and stuff, or
Uh, not to my knowledge. Not
Savage
we don't
Order?
have any in there already.
Savage Order is a good tutor. Thoughts?
Um, do we run threats undetected?
Wait, I'm sorry. Nanogen Conversion is a card in our deck.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, mystical tutors. Yeah, mystical tutors fine then.
Is personal to? Is it? It's sorcery, right?
Yep, we can do personal tutor as well.
Because like if we're gonna rip a draw off the top of our deck anyways going into this, like personal tutor is just as effective. I do want to hit the Nanogen Conversion. I do like that. It's just a way to.
And we're running the one drop dorks already, right?
I did not add any of them, Will. I've added Utopia Sprawl and I've added the Wild Growth. I do want to do I kind of want to push towards having lands more than I want creatures. From the amount of wipes I suffered, I feel like having just good land ramp is better.
Fair enough. Is there a pile that we can run for threats undetected that's worth getting a setup for? That's search for four creatures with different powers, and opponent puts two of them into your hand and two of them into the deck.
I want to look up Savage Order. A good pile for it?
Yeah, like can we combo off with our third and fourth best creature, pretty much?
Hmm. I don't know if we have that many dinosaurs for Savage Order. I know what you're saying, though, the Apex Altosaur. And put it onto the battlefield? I'm sorry. As additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature with power 4 or greater. Search your library for a dinosaur. Put it onto the battlefield. It gains indestructible. I don't know. That's kind of sick, though, Will. What do you think about Savage Order? Savage Order getting Apex Altosaur. It needs at least 2 targets in my mind, guys. I'll put Savage Order on the maybe board for now, though.
It's not horrible.
Indestructible, kill the board. Stop. Am I wrong?
Well,
Like,
it's 4 mana. It's a Wrath of God, one-sided Wrath of God for 4 mana and second creature.
yeah, yeah, it seems good. Unless Apex Altosaur is in our hand. HC, I like that suggestion a lot. Actually, let me look at the dinosaurs in the deck to see if there's at least one other option. I don't want to just be, I don't want to have a dead card in my hand because I only had the one thing and it's also in my hand. Do you know what I mean? Mm, I'm sorry.
Uh,
I couldn't think of any piles for you, by the way.
yeah.
I,
What do you think of Weird Harvest? Because this is a potentially risky one, but
your
potentially
opponents
good.
get the benefit of searching as well, though, right?
Yeah.
It's all to top a deck.
No, it's to hand.
Ooh, that's worse. I mean, if they get like their own solitude or something, it could feel bad.
That is the reason why it's risky.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. If it was like a scheming symmetry style, it'd
Because
be a little bit
my thing
better.
is, if we do Weird Harvest and we just find Hullbreak Horror and the Mummy or one of our things like a Sky Husser, then we just win. Great Oak is probably the best option. So Great Oak and Hullbreak Horror, and then we just kind of win from there because we just go boom, 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 draw our deck, make infinite mana.
How do you feel about Voltborn Tyrant?
Oh, that's the new dino.
God, he's expensive. What is going on? Why is he so? Is this being played right now?
It's because it's a from the vault thing, so it's a little bit
Oh,
hard to get, but it does see a tiny bit of play in Commander just because gain life, draw cards, a little bit of self protection. Also, shared summons is probably better than Weird Harvest. It does the same thing for one more mana, but your opponents don't get to search, and it's an instant.
yeah, I remember shared summons now. I used to run Weird Harvest in Savala, so I understand. Merchant Scroll, will?
We don't care about blue instants, I don't think.
No.
But it does have that fancy new future sight border.
Yeah, that does make the difference, doesn't it?
Indeed,
Do
indeed.
we Pyre of Heroes, Birthing Pod, any of that stuff here?
Maybe Prime Speaker Vanifar? At worst, it's a draw off our commander.
Is she 4 mana?
Yep.
Okay. Prime Speaker Vanifar. I mean, obviously, this isn't giving us the cast trigger, but it is hopefully giving us the combo cards. Spell Tithe Enforcer plus Chancellor of the Annex for stacks. Oh, should we run any stacks in this list? Like,
Don't think we need stacks. I think we can get away with just removal.
how do you feel about Sterling Grove as a potential tutor?
Witches, Turley.
Sterling Grove is other enchantments you control have Shroud, and then you can.
Oh, yeah. Um,
It's pretty good in my book. I think Sterling Grove can be in the deck.
Potentially. So it's the 3 mana top deck tutor. That's what it's going to be used for a lot of the time, but it finds. It finds.
Intruder Alarm,
Yeah.
right to top, and then draw it, right?
Is there a better tutor that we have for enchantments right now?
Not really. Other than Miss Enlightened Tutor, not really. Um,
Sterling Grove is more or less a Moonblessed Cleric. Idyllic Tutor is probably better than Sterling Grove, but eh. Um, that's not worth it. That's not worth it. That's not worth it.
do you like
I
Idyllic? Oh, sorry, gone.
Yeah, Idyllic is probably better than Sterling Grove, but
I'll put
don't
both
think we
in.
need Intruder Alarm if we're going for any of the other combo lines. Because Charkham Retriever. Charkham Retriever isn't easier to find basically Intruder Alarm.
Mm. Hmm.
I don't think we
Congregation
need
at
more
Dawn.
big spells. I think we just need to find
How do you feel
early game
about
plays now.
Congregation at Dawn, actually? Search your library for up to 3 creature cards, reveal them, shuffle your library, put them on top. Like, if you just order this properly, you can draw through
Yeah,
all of
that's
them.
that's good because
Yeah.
you go ETB untapper into probably another ETB untapper into Hullbreak Core into game,
Yeah.
and you just need one other thing you can cast to get that to close, or you can do untapper Hullbreak untapper game.
Did you want to run Con Sphinx in this deck just because we can probably cast it very easily.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Wow. Okay.
Don't even need to question it. It's we're probably getting it out turn 4 or 5 pretty easily.
Yeah, the Miss Hollow Griffin food chain to draw. Um, I don't know. Will, how do you feel about Miss Hollow Griffin in this deck with food chain? I mean, food chain will help us pilot for a win outside of its combo. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe only because we can use food chain to chain, but yeah, okay, we
Is
can
that
put that
is
in
that
just
is
for the
that
sake of
casual?
argument. Casual enough,
Really? Okay.
because food chain does dumb things, but it's not a direct A plus B with our commander unless we are specifically finding Miss Hollow Griffin. We should
Where's the judge version of food chain? Am I crazy? Oh, that's survival of the fittest. Whoops.
maybe we shouldn't run it just because it is A plus B plus commander combo.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna put it on the maybe for now, along with Mist Hollow Griffin. But thank you for the suggestion. Like, I don't disagree with you. I think that's a very good line of play. I do think it's a little too potent, though.
yeah. Doing food chain in the deck is probably good though because it does let us storm off.
Do we have enough removal effects or interaction? Well,
Uh,
I'm still trying to add ramp. Jeez, this is awful. Sorry. Um,
you can do rampant growth, 3 visits, Farseek, cultivate, Kodama's reach,
I
all of
like
the
I like
good green stuff,
Haro. Search your library for up to 2 basic lands, put them on the battlefield, then shuffle. You have to
and
sacrifice one.
the quick and obligatory hero.
Yeah,
Everybody has to do it. It's part of the rules. I don't make them.
sure. I'll do Haro. I'll do what is it? Kodama's Reach.
Kodama's reach, cultivate, Farseek lets us get a dual land or a shock land or something like that. 3 visits
Three visits.
and what's the other one?
I think I just passed it. Um, wait, wait. Archdruid's Charm.
Nature's lore.
Nature's Lore. Is Noxious Survival kosher?
Yeah, Noxious Survival is fine.
How do you feel about Eternal Witness in this deck?
I'd want the other witness, the one that costs 4 and has
Oh,
internalized.
wait. What is its name? Is it's Witness, right?
Timeless Witness?
Evolution.
No, Evolution's the. I was
Mm.
right. It's Timeless Witness.
Yes, you are right. It is Timeless Witness. Enters the battlefield, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Eternalize. Sure. I mean, is this just because she's 4 for Helga?
Yeah, and a little bit of recursion in a bad situation if we need it.
How do I
Because
look up? Oh, sorry.
Eternalizes somewhat.
No. Oh, no. I'm sure. How do I look up MDFCs?
I do not know. There's a fancy code for it. I do not know the fancy code.
All right, guys. We need MDFCs, and I mean modal double-faced lands. Is that what it stands for? I think so. So I want to run the 4-cost one in white, Witch Enchanter. Am I wrong?
Yeah, we can do that. I'm for modal double for MDFCs. I'm just doing lands that cost more than 1. That is my cheat way of doing it. Um, so we have the Glass Pool Mimic, which is the bad one. We got the Sink into Stupor, which isn't that great.
Yeah,
Crits.
please give me any and all of the modal double-faced lands that you think are worthwhile, Will. And just Restoration.
We can do Turn Timber Symbiosis if we want. Oh, Disciple of Fraley's is a
Yo, Ench's Restoration, Trickster. Yes, you're right. For this deck, yes. Ench's Restoration's another land tutor will, but like with if you have a creature with 4 greater power, it just you get more. It's great. So it sounds great. What were you saying though? Oh, we should add our 1-drop. So I heard you guys say Birds of Paradise. I heard ignoble which hierarch? Wait up.
yes, a noble hierarch for our deck.
Noble hierarch.
But we have a Disciple of Fraley's as well. It's the sack a creature, draw equal to its power, and gain life equal to its power. And it's a modal double face.
Disciple of Fraley's. Yeah, if there's any other modal double face cards that you can think of, let me know.
Turn Timber Symbiosis.
Um, yeah, turn
The
timbers.
classic.
Yeah, I think that's still good here. Delighted Halfling. Will.
Yeah. Yeah. We run a couple legendaries. It could be fine. It gives us fixing for our commander, and then our commander taps for any of the other colors we need, so it's
What
good.
other 1-drop mana generators do you want?
Arbor Elf. Just because we're going to be enchanting forests to make them do more.
That's true. Sorry guys, we're gonna look over lands later. We are gonna just do what Will suggested and put the command towers in the deck just to get them out of the way. But we'll actually figure out what our land base needs to be after all is said and done. Oh my gosh, I really should have outlined this to say creatures. Avicen's Pilgrim. Will. How many of these do we really want? Is my question.
We want the ones that can probably tap for more than one color.
So not
Do,
Elvish Mystic, not
do
Seagate
we run
Restoration.
Selvala?
We could run Savala, but I'll put Savala Heart of the Wilds in here. But do you want Seagate Restoration in here? Is another MDFC?
Sure. It's it gives us cards in hand in a bad situation, so it's not bad.
Carpet of Flowers. Eh? Is carpet good in this format?
I mean, it'll make like 1 or 2 mana usually, because there's usually at least one blue player at the table.
How do you feel about Exploration?
Uh, I don't hate Exploration and I don't hate Carpet of Flowers. I think they're both fine.
Okay. Command tower, and then again, I will switch this to 36. You said is that I'm gonna do 34. I think we're over, by the way, our card count, and we haven't added any removal, like any removal.
Well, we have the big things, but we can toss in the new Chain of Vapor and stuff like that.
Yeah, give me your most casual removal, audience, and I mean that. I don't know, like, is Swords to Plowshare kosher? Like, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
all
pretty
that's
much as long as you're not running Chain of Vapor and Cyclonogrift, it's kosher.
Chain of Vapors not kosher.
Yeah, Chain of Vapor's not kosher just because you'll have a bunch of people bouncing a bunch of things and then it's just a 1 mana board wipe.
Mockingbird.
Chain of Vapor is probably fine though. Most people don't actually complain about Chain, but it's something that people feel isn't kosher.
I think we should put Mockingbird in here.
Okay. But we should put Into the Flood Maw and Chain. We should just put
Okay,
Chain
so
of
let's
Vapor
let's
because why
do
not?
let's just do into the flood maw. Let's just do that instead, and then I'm gonna put Mockingbird because it does work off of our leader's effect, but also it's just really good value. Mockingbird, okay. River's Rebuke, Sexy Dryad. I do like the Dryad. Do you want any of the marches in this deck, Will?
Um,
It's just a form of removal. March of Otherworldly Light or something like that.
Nah,
Hmm?
mate. No, I'd rather just have a straight up bounce instead of a phase out, and then the white one isn't that great, and the green one isn't that great.
How do you feel about any other fast mana options like artifact based ramp?
Soul Ring is the one that I think is kosher. We can put
Arcane
in like
Signet is fine.
uh yeah, the signets are fine, but I think having bodies on them is a little bit better, only because
Right.
Nanogen.
Did you want Bloom Tender, Beast Caller, Savant?
Uh,
Beast Caller Savant's kind of cute because it helps us. It will help us cast same turn. Bloom Tender is good.
yeah, Bloom Tender is definitely
This was mentioned. I
good.
think Elgin mentioned this earlier, but we can add Bloom Tender for now. Sorry, we do need to make some cuts, and I do need to add some removals still. Kenrith's Transformation.
Nah, we don't need Kenrith's transformation. You only really run it if you're in green. I guess it can shut off commanders in a more permanent way, so maybe, but
I do
I
like
don't
it
know.
for that, honestly. Um,
Okay.
I like the suggestions here. So we have Path to Exile,
Yep.
Swords to Plowshare.
Yep.
Are there any good split mana or like dual colored things we could do? Rapid Hybridization and Pongify. Do we need the? Actually,
They're fine.
probably. Yeah, probably. Pongify. Reality Shift is solid. Do we add the One Ring here, or is that not kosher?
Most people don't like the One Ring only because it's seen as like a smoke card. It's not. It is not beloved because people know it's too good now.
Song of the Dryad, Imprison in the Moon are good removal to lock down problematic commanders. I think I added Kenny's transformation for that same thing. Song of the Dryad is
Yep.
just a little bit more expensive, right? Isn't it 3?
Yeah, it's three makes it a forest and imprison and the moon is makes it basically a waste, I think.
Yeah. What do you think, Will?
I think they're fine.
You want them?
Yeah, they work. But we have a did we put Into the Floodmaw in already?
I did.
Okay. Heck do it. We can toss in Cyclonic Rift. A board wipe is a board wipe.
I mean, is that the best one for us? Like, didn't this color have anything better? How about Winds of Abandon?
We can do Winds of Abandon as well. It's good.
And Winds of Abandon and Psych Rift.
Yep.
Um, Final Showdown? Final Showdown?
I'm trying to.
Just it's the spree instant
Oh
speed
yeah, it's the
destroy all
new one.
creatures. You
Yeah, I
know,
like Final Showdown.
again, like bearing in mind, guys, we can't use Helga for any of this, but it's fine. I like Final Showdown as well. Is it rude to cast Silence?
Not really, because if people are trying to combo, then silence is a good answer.
Oh my god. Well, we have 30 cards to cut, so want to try that? You could
We can
you.
cut a lot of the high end stuff because we kept adding in high cost stuff when we really did not need to.
I'm
Do you
gonna.
also want to put the deck in the description?
I will now. Yes. So guys, if you've been following along, thanks for hanging with us. We're going to go type in converted mana cost. If you don't see it yet, check now. I am going to drop a link to Helga Skittish Seer for you all to follow. If you want to play test this with us, you're more than welcome to. I want to get at least a few opening hands to see how this performs, but we do have a lot of cuts to make. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the suggestions. Honestly, it really does help me because I don't we're using a lot of things I would never consider, but they work really really well here, and in particular in a casual setting. Again, ignore the 34 command towers. We're going to get in a more appropriate land base later on, but this is going to at least help us get an idea of how this deck should operate. So, Will, I want to start with the piles that have less cards. So the Great Henge. Cloudstone Curio, Patriarch Seal, 1,000-Year Elixir, Mage-Right Stone, Soul Ring.
We can probably cut Patriarch Seal and Mage Right Stone, but we keep 1,000 Year just because haste is really good.
Do you want to see... Well, okay, I'll sideline them for now then. Okay, that's fine by me. Sorceries, we've got Turn Timber Symbiosis, Seagate Restoration. We have a few MDFCs, so we could maybe even cut a few more lands, but those are fine. Are those fine? They're very costly. Whatever. Nanogen Conversion, well, I feel like we could probably cut the high cost MDFCs.
Well, I mean, they're filling in a land slot for us.
But like 3 damage feels like a we're gaining I don't know.
We're gaining life. We're fine.
Are we ever going to cast these?
Potentially. Because, for instance, like the Disciple of Freyles, we're definitely casting that. And for Turn Timber Symbiosis, it helps us find something to get into play for late game. So, yeah, I like Turn Timber. Seagate is more of a maybe for me, but it's still better than a land.
Better than a land, you say. I like Cultivate. I like Kodama's Reach. I like Mist of Lorien quite a bit. Not only the art, but the effects. It's quite good. We've got Idyllic Tutor. I think that's fine. Altar of Bone, Farseek, Nature's Lore, 3 Visits, Winds of Abaddon, Sylvan Tutor. Got Bellow in the back there. Dig it. And Personal Tutor. Love all of it. All right. Our land base again is at 34. I'm going to shift that in a second. Instant speed. We have Shared Summons, Congregation at Dawn, Entish Restoration, Harrow, Reality Shift, Eladamri's Call, Psych Rift, Arachnoid Adaptation. We didn't add very many of these effects, Will. How many of these effects would you want?
I don't think we need any of the Arachnoid adaptation effects. I think we're fine without them because we have other untap effects. Our commander's buffing itself and drawing his cards to keep going. So I don't think we need Arachnoid adaptation style things.
Will, what's the other, not Reality Shift, but the one that exiles a creature or an artifact?
Resculpt.
I'm going to put Resculpt in here instead of Reality Shift. I think it's just a little bit better.
Yeah, reality shifts in there because it's sometimes an infinite.
Oh.
Like it exiles a creature, makes them manifest, and then you do that 200 more times and everybody decks out except you.
Should we put the bug in here that exiles artifacts enchantments? The
Uh,
Haywire Might, or
if we need more removal, then sure.
Will's not confident. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know how much removal is too much removal or what's overkill. Um, Again, at least in a casual setting. Normally, interaction's the name of the game in CDH, right? You're gonna have a lot of forms of interaction. You're gonna build up a really big hand and try to do the thing very quickly. Carpet of Flowers, Exploration, Utopia Sprawl, Wild Growth. Solid?
Well, I think we can probably cut exploration,
Exploration.
the paid untappers or trigger untappers, other than uh intruder alarm. We can keep intruder alarm, and then I think we can cut up the beanstalk.
I'm fine cutting up the beanstalk. You don't want Freed from the Real?
So the reason why I don't want Pemin's Ore, maybe we keep Pemin's Ore for the shroud, but the reason why I don't care about Freed from the Real as much is because I feel like our bottleneck is eventually going to be draw more than mana, because we'll play stuff off our commander, we'll get a couple things to keep going with our commander, and then we'll have a bunch of lands in hand and have to stop there. So it'll feel like we have a bottleneck on mana, but I feel like our bottleneck is going to be draw in the end.
How do you feel about Retreat to Coral Helm still?
We can cut it. I'd keep Freed from the Real and Pemin's Aura over it, but I think keeping just Pemin's Aura is fine.
What about Carpet of Flowers? Elgin's saying he would cut it.
We can cut it if we want. We have enough ramp in other ways.
Are we gonna have enough forest for Utopia Sprawl? I think so.
Yeah, we can have the shock lands in there and skip out on the OG dual lands, and then it'll be fine.
And all the fetch lands though.
Yeah, we can run fetch lands. Fetch lands should be fine.
Oh boy. I don't know where to start. Let's start from the high end. Apex Devastator,
Yeah, I like it.
Apex Altasaur.
Uh, yeah, Ultrasaur is good. We actually, I was mixing up Devastator and Ultrasaur. I think we could potentially cut the Devastator if we don't need like a big bomb thing. I think it is still probably good, but we have other bombs that are probably better.
Yeah, it is costly, but the Cascade is pretty gnarly.
Yeah,
It's not winning us the game or anything though.
yeah. I'd rather find Tidespout over finding the Devastator.
Well, it could find Tidespout.
I mean, yeah, but it
With a
could also
world
find us a freaking Soul Ring and then a bunch of other random ramp effects.
but with a worldly tutor, will anything's possible. You're not into it.
Like it could still be fine. I just eh.
How about Terastodon?
Terastodon's good. It's a draw for commander and just a big body for later, along with removal.
Tidespout, fine. Null Drifter, fine. Prime Mirelurk Queen, fine.
Ultra Core, fine.
Yeah, Angel of Serenity.
Angel of Serenity is probably still good just because it's a recursion on top of being removal.
Okay.
Yeah, I still like the Angel.
Ether Snipe, Bane of Progress, Con Sphinx, Disciple of Freyalise.
All those are good because Freyalise is technically a land.
Right, she's great. Great Oak Guardian.
Yeah, Great Oak Guardian stays just because it's a combo card. It's a
Wait,
free card off of our commander as well.
right. We need to cut 22 cards. Bear in mind, audience. So we're getting there slowly and surely. Also, if you're enjoying the video, I'll say this enough. I'll encourage you to leave it a like. It goes a long way. But Wave Sifter? Investigate twice? This feels kind of weak. Feels kind of mid to me.
Yeah, we don't need Wave Sifter.
Solitude's good though. Sky Hussar.
We might be able to cut Sky Husser. The upkeep effect is kind of nice for a little bit of draw, and then the fact that it's a combo piece is also kind of nice, but eh. Probably cuttable.
I like the forecast on this.
Yeah, forecast is fun.
Wait, why would you cut it? Just because Great Oak Guardian's better?
Yeah, Great Oak Guardian is better because it's a buff and flash, and the Mummy is better just because it's a lower cost. We can still keep it though because of the draw effect if you want.
How often are we gonna use that forecast?
We just need to tap 2 non-green creatures to draw a card. Probably not that often, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Silverback Elder?
Silverback feels a little bit greedy. We have Aura Shards in there to already do it. It's not a
I feel
bad
like
card,
this is
though.
I feel like this is better than Aura Shards. It's just
Okay.
it's a creature, right? So we have a way to cheat it out with Helga.
Yeah,
I like Silverback Elder more than Aura Shards. Should we just cut Aura Shards?
we can cut Aura Shards.
I
We
mean,
also have, like, Bane of Progress, which does more or less the same thing, so, yeah.
Muldrifter, Momar Vig, Karuga, Emoti, Celebrant of Bounty. Emoti hits 6 and up. Give me 1 second. Mana value. Spells you cast with a mana value 6 or greater. We have
We can
1,
probably
2,
cut
3, 4,
Emoti.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I like Emoti, but Chakram Retriever is what we're into.
Momir Vig is a tutor chain psycho, because if we just keep playing green creatures, we just keep going over and over and over again.
We have enough green creatures, I think. So yeah. We've got Witch Enchanter. I'm gonna cut 2 more lands. Well, gonna leave us at 32 here.
Yeah.
Oh, whoop. We've got Witch Enchanter, Timeless Witness, Subtlety, Sparring Mummy.
We can cut Prime Speaker Vanifar.
Can we cut Sparring Mummy?
Uh, well, if we cut Sky Husser, we probably want to keep Sparring Mummy because it's in there for the Hullbreak Horror combos and Tidespy Tyrant combos.
Hmm. We don't really have a... It doesn't bounce it to hand, though, right? Wait up.
Hullbreak Horror and Tidespy bounce it to hand, and then it untaps our commander infinite times to give us
Hmm.
infinite mana to draw our deck.
Infinite creature mana. And then we... Yeah. What do we do with that infinite creature mana?
We can play the other part of Tidespout Tyrant Hullbreak Horror and then just loop Terastodons to blow up everybody's stuff, and then Angel of Serenity to exile all the tokens that were made. Or Apex Ultra Sword, fight all of those tokens.
Right, right. All right, Sakashima, Foundation Breaker, Briarhorn, Ancestral Statue. Love this card here.
Do we need Ancestral Statue?
Yeah, I think so. Enters the battlefield, return it to its hand, your hand.
Yeah, it's an engine, but it is still going to be pay 4 mana, draw card, gain a counter on the commander.
Mm. I mean, doesn't it just go off with Intruder Alarm, though?
Yeah.
You kind of just win the game.
And
If you're tapping...
Retriever. Yeah.
Like, if you're...
Yeah,
if yeah. I like it a lot. There are combos for it in the deck.
we can probably cut some of the draw things then from the deck, because we have enough consistency and enough tutors that we probably don't need draws. We can also probably remove... Yeah, so we can remove the 2 draw hydras we have and probably Selvala.
I'm gonna get rid of Savala. Lifeblood Hydra feels kind of cute.
It's not dying that frequently. We can cut it.
Yeah. Sorry, I need to do one thing. Still with you guys. Just need to charge my phone. All right. Feel free to keep suggesting any cuts. Wow. Hold up.
Oh, are we back? No? Yes? Maybe?
No, we're back. We're back. Wow. Just plugging my phone in did all that, huh? All right, guys. I'll be right back. We need to cut 14 cards. 1 second. Really wasn't expecting that, man.
Yeah.
What was that about? Okay. All right, we're back. I'm back. We're back. I don't know what I want to cut. I'm gonna cut Seeker of Skybreak.
We can cut Seeker of Skybreak. Also, going back to some of the other things, we can probably cut Mist Gold Tutor, Personal Tutor, and Altar of Bone.
Really?
Because we don't need to find Nanogen Conversion if we have other cards that just do the same thing but better. Like, all of our creature tutors are probably better than Nanogen.
Wait, HC. I have a question for you. Like, what is the typical land count in a casual deck? I would cut those sorceries, lands, and probably triple 1-color peep cards. 1 pip cards. Sorry, am I getting rid of Kira's Follower as well?
We can probably cut Follower.
I kind of want to stick with the rest of these creatures if possible.
We should probably cut Crisis at least. I don't think we need Crisis. Right?
I mean, it's a good card, but yeah, I understand. Like, it's, whenever you cast... Sorry, when you cast this spell, you gain half life and draw. Ah, that's so good, though. It's just that I feel like it's a good draw engine, man. I feel like it's a good draw engine that plays into our leader's ability. Same thing with, like, Disciple of Freyalise, right?
Okay.
It's good to have two of them. The lands are probably around 28 with 7 MDFCs. Jesus, really? So 35 lands total? That's interesting that you say that. Will, would you...
I don't know our modal count because I can't check the deck
No, no, no,
easily for modals.
you're good. Let me save and continue editing. I will... Casual runs 33 on the low end. I mean, I think we can probably get away with 33 then. Again, we need to cut off...
We're a higher CMC deck.
Oh, we definitely are. We have 1, 2... 1, 2... 3, 4, I think, total.
We can get away with probably having 35 lands. So if we want, we can cut to 31 lands and then the modals.
All right.
Oh, there's just the tab for flip. That's the easy way to find the modals. Okay. Yeah,
All
we
right.
have 4 in total.
So Sterling Grove, cut.
Sterling Grove's the... yeah, we can probably cut Sterling Grove.
Enchantments you control have Shroud, so, like, the 8 other enchantments.
Yeah, and, do we still... We can cut Idyllic Tutor if we still have it in here as well, because we care about creature tutors more than enchantment tutors.
We don't have a creature tutor for enchantments, though.
Well, we have a Charkham Retriever, which is basically it's basically Intruder Alarm. So we don't need to search for Intruder Alarm all the time.
That's true, that's true. Yeah, we do have a bit of ramp, so I feel okay there. Alright, guys, we need to cut 8 more cards. Will's saying we should cut some more of the tutors. Personal tutor?
Yeah. We don't need Personal Tutor. We can keep Mystical Tutor if we want.
I do want. I think I want. I think I want.
Tutor is still good as well.
Sylvan Tutor's great. Altar of Bone.
We don't need Altar of Bone.
I think Elgin was suggesting cutting some of the sorcery speed land ramp effects.
We could probably do that.
Right. So Farseek is our Triome, right? Search your library for a forest card, put onto the battlefield, tap Nature's Lore. 3 visits, it's the same thing. I mean...
3 visits doesn't put it into play tapped.
No. 3 visits is onto the battlefield. Nature's Lore is onto the battlefield. Farseek is tapped, though. Farseek is technically the worst, so I'm going to get rid of it.
Okay.
Search your library for 2 basic lands. Search your library for 2 basic lands. Harrow. And just Restoration. This is tough making these cuts. We've got 5 more cuts to go. So at this point, we've removed a lot of the utility effects. I'm trying to keep as much ramp as possible, land-based ramp as possible. I don't know, man. I think it's going to have to come from our creatures. Is Sakashima with 1,000 Faces all that in a bag of chips?
It's a good utility card in general, and it can copy our commander to start doubling up draws. So I do like Sakashima.
Mockingbird is maybe trivial here. I still like it as a card, though. Terastodon is fine. It just feels expensive, man.
Maybe we can cut some of the transform a creature into effects. Like we can keep Kenrith's
Yeah,
transformation, but we can cut
song.
one or two of the others.
So both the others.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, we can probably keep one of them if we really want, but
We could sub it back in if we need to. How about this? Just to expedite this process. I mean, I can see myself cutting a Kodama's Reach into 3 visits just to get the ball rolling. I'd really rather not. I think shared summons is a little too costly for my liking.
we can cut shared summons because we have the 3 cost ones that do functionally the same thing.
Yeah, I think that Congregation at Dawn is just better. And let's cut Haro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we
Okay.
can cut Entish March as well.
Well, we've got the space for it. But Entrance Restoration, I
Or
could.
yeah,
No, no,
March.
no,
Yeah.
you're good. Let's leave it for now. Let's leave it for now. It is a little win more, to be honest. But isn't that what casual's about? We're 90% casual, guys, if you can see that. So we did it. It's right above Will's head. Okay, yeah, sorry for the break in the stream there. That's what you get when you try to plug your iPhone into a laptop that's already doing too much. Okay, I'm aware. But guys, if you stayed till the end, I appreciate it. We are going to practice a little bit with this list just to see how it performs. I am very curious to see what we can do within like a 5-turn window. I think even that is maybe a little high expectation, but I'm excited for it. If you liked the video, leave it a like. Appreciate it. And on that note, all right, well, what's the ideal hand for you?
Probably a way to get Helga out kind of early and then one or two big things.
So this is a one lander, but it has Noble Hierarch and Wild Growth. Cross our fingers.
Yeah, because we can Enlighten Tutor for Intruder Alarm as well, so I like it. I
Sold.
think we can get away with it.
All right. I'm gonna do the Hierarch here.
Yeah.
All right. And next turn. We
Mhm.
missed our lands. Hmm.
Uh, yeah, it's gonna be a misland in the end, but we can and the command tower is considered a forest for Utopia.
Right. Yeah, we're making all exceptions for our land base here. All right. We're just gonna hold, I think, to do Enlightened Tutor. Am I wrong?
Well, we can tap and do Wild Growth and Light Tutor. So if we tap our yeah, because so
Well, I'll
Hierarch
do this for
tap
Utopia Sprawl.
tap Hierarch for Utopia Sprawl, tap Utopia Sprawl and the Forest for Wild Growth and Enlightened Tutor.
Got all of our eggs in one basket here.
Yeah, but we have Kodama's Reach, and people probably aren't gonna do land destruction this early on.
Would anything be better than this intruder alarm right now?
Maybe Ristic Study.
Nah, screw it. Let's go. Wow, just no lands. I'm gonna shuffle that again though. I just wanna
Well, we have Kodama's Reach to
go.
ramp 2 lands this turn.
I cheesed it a little bit. I don't know if I shuffled before I actually did that, so I just put it back and I shuffled. All right. We can cast Helga off of that one land. So that's what
Yeah,
we'll do. And
we
we've
can do
got
Helga and Kenrith's transformation.
right. I think it's probably good to shut down someone else's business, draw a card. Because this does cantrip, y'all.
Yep.
Right, next turn. Okay, so we've got one creature. I mean, I guess technically before we took that draw, we have Congregation at Dawn that we could rip. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and let's see if we have.
So yeah, so let's wind the clock back. If we did the untap and we
We'd
did a
have 4 to play with our commander being there. So we could do Congregation at Dawn, getting a setup,
right,
draw with commander, and then We'd have 2 mana if we use the mummy, the sparring mummy after that. So we wouldn't be able to get there. Yeah, we wouldn't be able to get there with a congregation at dawn.
What if we reached for it would be mummy. We need untappers, right?
Yeah, it's mummy, one of the bounce guys, Hullbreak or Tidespout Tyrant, and then anything else. Um,
All right, so should we just play out this hand? Just draw and then set up for later?
yeah, I think we just play out our hand and then set up Intruder Alarm, because if we have Intruder Alarm in play, then we win with Congregation on the next turn.
Right. I just don't want to. I mean, this could be a benefit for other players, though, right?
And true, but also it's going to be a benefit for us. It's also stopping people from untapping their dorks, so
I mean, the way I'm seeing it, like, we could just rip Kodamas Reach and 3 visits and have the lands set up for next turn to play Intruder Alarm and try to go
yeah,
off
that's
on next
fine.
turn.
That works.
Right. I mean, but let's do this. Okay, so we do both these. Search for 2 basic lands, reveal them, put one into the battlefield, one into your hand. This is just put it into the battlefield. Is it tapped or untapped? This one's put into the battlefield. Tapped. Okay, so I'm gonna get 3 lands. Command tower, command tower, command tower. Okay, so one goes there, one goes there, like this, and then the other one goes in my hand. Okay. I wish we had some form of interaction beyond the nothing we have, but that's okay.
Well, we have Apex next turn if we really need it, but
Yeah.
we probably won't need it.
All right. Speaking of next turn, sorry, I did hit the next turn button. It's Tidespout Tyrant on the top of the deck, which I don't think we need quite yet. So if we're trying to like pop off here, and this is casual, right? If we wanted to pop off with this deck, we could go Intruder Alarm. I'm sorry, we need to do this first. We do need to do the Congregation at dawn before we get our draw.
Yeah, we can do Congregation at Dawn for Charkham Retriever, and then use the Ancient Statue and Charkham Retriever to combo off from there, I think. And I think we have exactly enough mana to try to do that. Because let's see, we do.
Chakram Retriever's expensive.
Yeah. So let's see, we do Charkham Retriever, then we have 5 mana for Helga, Helga too. So we're only.
Well,
gonna...
we have Intruder Alarm in hand already though, so it's like
Yeah.
we don't need that. But
well, so yeah, yeah, we don't need Charkham Retriever.
we need
so
the
we can do
we need the mummy though. We need the mummy.
Yeah, the mummy's gonna let us ramp up for the setup a little bit faster. So we just do.
A little bit. She's only gonna tap for 1 and then she'll tap for 2.
Well, she untaps twice, once from Intruder Alarm and then once from the mummy.
Okay.
So let's see. We have 1, 2, 3 for. We are Oh no, we have land for turn. We still have land for turn. Yeah.
We do have land for turn. We have it in our hand.
We have exactly enough, I believe.
Okay, so what's the third card? It's up to 3. I mean, I guess we could take like a solid. What is the free of? Oh fuck, we didn't have endurance in here.
It would be Solitude for the free interaction, that or Subtlety, but we can. Third one really does not matter.
Yeah, but I just want to be able to cast it to help. You know what I mean? Like this would be a great way to just put power on her, but that's fine. It's fine. It's whatever. Okay. So how are we stacking this? Solitude last, obviously, Ancestral Statue, and then Mummy.
Yeah, Mummy on top of Ancestral Statue, so it's Mummy on top because it's gonna be a ritual.
Okay, so we draw for turn.
Yep.
I will cast Sparring Mummy, off of.
Intruder Alarm first.
Oh yeah. So 1, 2, 3, and then we have Sparring Mummy. So Sparring Mummy is going to get cast off of Helga, Noble Hierarch, Command Tower, and Command Tower. So Sparring Mummy enters the battlefield. We've got a few triggers. We're just going to do Helga's thing first. So I'll draw a card. I'll put a counter on her. We'll gain a life.
Yep.
Okay. Then we'll do...
Sparring Mummy untapping Helga. Tap Helga for 2.
Right.
Intruder Alarm, untapping Helga, Noble Hierarch, and then you have 5 mana to play with from here. And then we have exactly enough to combo off with
Well, yeah.
with
Well, oh yeah. So we're supposed to. Well, we drew a card already, right? So that, yeah, whenever a creature comes into play, untap all creatures. Okay, done, done. Okay. Okay.
with our 4 Helga mana and with our Noble Hierarch, we use 4 of the Helga mana for Ancestral Statue, and then we just keep jamming Ancestral Statue down over and over and over again.
Right. So this will just get placed back into my hand. Boop, and we'll draw through our deck. So when we draw through our deck, we don't necessarily win here, do we? I mean,
We
yeah, we kind of
destroy
do.
all permanents in play and make a massive board.
Helga is on cast. It has to go first.
Yeah, but
Um,
we can, whenever we're done doing things,
right, 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 right. I mean,
we
I
can get rid of Helga to stop the draw. But we'll have enough mana and replays that will wipe out everything.
I'm just making sure we didn't mess that turn up though, right? Because like if it's on the cast, then yes, sparring mummy. The way this triggers stack, she would just go first, which I
She's
think
on
we,
cast.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think we
she
did
gets
that. We
buffed before everything.
right. Well, we did that anyways. We did sequence that correctly then. Okay. All right. I mean, I think that's the game right there then.
Yep, yep.
On turn
So we're
5,
gonna
it's not
loop
bad.
through everything, making it so that all of our opponents' lands get turned into 3/3 beasts, and then we're gonna fight all of them with the or the Apex Ultrasaur or the Angel of Serenity, and then we win the game from there.
Um, Mateus, you mentioned Angel of Serenity. Is there something you would want to see instead of Angel of Serenity?
It's
Um,
it's in there because it's removal, but also it's recursion because it can get stuff from our
oh,
graveyard back into our hand.
keep seeing this Apex Ultrasaur, dude. I do like this hand though. This is like a turn 1 Soul Ring into Nature's Lore turn, but it gets us really close to Momar Vig.
Yeah, it's turn one, just land Soul Ring, turn two, 3 visits and Nature's Lore, and then turn after Momir Vig or Commander. Probably our Commander first, just to have setup, but
Am I wrong? Like this is a good hand.
yeah, it's good.
Okay, so we'll do that. We have both a Nature's Lore and a 3 visits to just rip right here, so we will.
Yep, yep.
So forest and a forest. So again, guys, we're just gonna go with the command towers, but these would be like some form of dual land. And they come into play untapped, right?
Yep.
Look at us. Too bad we don't have anything else to do with that mana. I will pass. Delighted Halfling, a little late, girl. But that's okay. I think we could still get it off because we can make Momar
If we want, we can
uncounterable.
Momir Vig and then Delighted Halfling to Worldly Tutor.
Oh, that's so true. Yeah.
The question is it Helga or is it that?
I feel like Helga's better first.
Yeah, Helga's, we want the setup. We want a non-summoning sick Helga first.
Yeah, let's go here, 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 here. Let's do Helga, and then we'll pass. All right, turn 4. Ristic Study. Okay. Oh, this is really fun to playtest. I don't know how you guys feel. Obviously, it doesn't feel as goal-oriented as like playing a CDH list quickly, right? Like having a clear-cut goal. But I do like seeing the lines of play that can be established in a casual setting. I do feel like I'm searching for infinite combos though, which isn't precisely casual. Am I wrong? Am I
Well, you're trying to set up for a decent board and interact with stuff, and then finding a combo to finish, which a lot of casual decks still do. But
right?
yeah, it's this is a higher power casual deck in my opinion, because it still does have combos and it has a lot of draw to it.
So we're gonna do this this way with 4 mana remaining. I could
Yep, yep.
just flat out cast Subtlety if I wanted to as well. Return up to 1 target creature spell or planeswalker. Huh.
And you get a draw off of Helga.
Right. Off of Momir, excuse me. Ooh, Disciple of Freyalise. She's not great right now, but she will be. All right. Do we hold for Subtlety or do we just play Ristic Study?
I mean, we can play Subtlety and sack Subtlety to Disciple of Freyalise later if we really want.
Oh, just as a 3-drop.
Yeah.
I almost rather just Rhystic Study.
Okay, we can do that because it's going to be draw either way.
Right. I mean, I feel like this way we're also sapping them of mana potentially. So, how people? I feel like in a casual setting, folks.
People pay for it more.
Right. How many draw? How many draws do you expect?
Probably like two. One guy plays two spells, doesn't pay for it.
Okay, it's fine. All right, so we have a Hullbreaker Horror, we have a Foundation Breaker, we have a Timeless Witness off the top. Well, I mean, we could just do the Foundation Breaker for its evoke cost, get the Momar trigger, or get
Yeah, and
the
then we
well. Oh,
find Great Oak Guardian, or yeah, probably Great Oak Guardian.
Helga. By the way, I'm sorry. She has a +1/+1 counter from earlier.
Yeah.
Wow, I think we just don't we just get it here? Okay, here. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna evoke. Right. So we have one generic floating. I'm sorry, you guys can't see this generic up here, but I'm using
Not sure if Helga's big enough to get there, but Helga's going to be close to
She's
big
about to
enough
be a
get there.
3 right now. So we'll do this with a command tower, and we'll stack it as such. We'll do the top deck tutor with Momir, then get the draw off of Helga, right?
Yep.
So we'll break whatever. I don't know. Maybe there's like a rule of law or something. We'll break that. This will die, but we're going to do the Great Oak Guardian.
Yeah, we have
And
6 mana to play with, ignoring Helga mana right now. So yeah, we find Great Oak.
right, Great Oak, and then we will draw a card, put a counter on Helga.
Yep.
Is Great Oak really the best option here? Yes, with
Great Oak
Hullbreak
is
Horror.
because Great Oak buffs Helga while also untapping Helga.
Yeah, with the Hullbreak Horror here though, like it's gonna be devastating.
So with the one floating and the delighted halfling and the four other things, we can play Great Oak Guardian, getting another counter on Helga, giving Helga +2/+2, and tapping Helga
right.
before it gets the
Two,
+2/+2, then
three,
untapping it.
4, 5, 6. Do we want to use Helga mana here? I'm sorry. Yes, we do. It's going to be Delighted Halfling, like you were saying, our generic, and then there's going to be 4 mana total and 6 mana total for Great Oak Guardian. Great Oak is 6 total. Again, we're going to stack the triggers the same way we did before with a Momir. Does it have to be a green? It could just be any creature. It just needs to be
It
a
can
green.
be any creature. You
Yeah.
usually go for green because it lets you continue chaining, but we probably find Sparring
The
Mummy just because it's going to be net positive now.
I mean, what about the Chakram?
Oh yeah, Charkham Retriever is going to be
we
Charkham
can't.
Retriever is going to let us storm off, and we can draw with a Disciple of Fraley's and Apex. So yeah, Charkham Retriever is actually pretty good here.
But I mean, we I guess we'll storm ultimately when Hullbreaker hits and bounces Great Oak, right? Is that the goal? But right now, the best line of play would be Chakram Retriever. Like that's our intruder alarm,
Yep, that works.
and we can actually cast it now too. I think, and then rip a subtlety to keep the ball rolling. I guess off of the move, get rid of the Hullbreaker. Wait, okay. Sorry, I'm thinking ahead of myself.
We don't need Hullbreak Horror right now. We can skirt around Hullbreak Horror. And
Oh, so if we do this on top, right? Is that our best option? Am I wrong?
so let's see. The options are either the Sparring Mummy or the Charkham Retriever, because Sparring Mummy would let us do the Hullbreak Horror stuff. So yeah, I think Charkham Retriever is probably our best option because it lets us start playing stuff for free. So
Okay.
yeah, I think Charkham Retriever is just the best.
All right. So this is all on cast. We get to draw this now off of Helga. She'll get a counter, and
then
get
ETB
alive.
trigger,
ETB
untap
trigger.
all the things,
Bloop.
or untap all the creatures.
Right. Okay. And they're +2/+2 until end of turn, right? I think that might be the more important part here. I'm just going to indicate that with counters as well, just because we're probably going to try to close out the game here if we can. It's weird to
So Helga's at a 6 power.
It's weird to say that. Close out the game. Okay.
So
let's
tap a Helga for Charkham Retriever.
Right. So Helga for Chakram Retriever, and then whenever you cast a spell during your turn, untap target creature. Okay, so cool. Chakram Retriever is going to get a trigger though off of Momir and Helga here. I think it's a scry, right? Or reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it into your hand. The
It's
fuck?
Thrasios, but instead of it being the whole land to field thing, it's a creature to hand.
Oh, so it's not.
Potential draw.
It's fine. I still draw this off of Helga though.
Yep, yep.
But we didn't hit a land this turn. No, we did hit a land this turn. No, no, we did
Uh,
not hit a land this turn. We did not hit a land this turn because
we ramped.
we ramped earlier. So land per turn. So
And
I'll
we
put
are floating one Helga mana. it'd be a blue, but
Oh,
we just
you're absolutely right because it's only 5 mana. So I'll float a blue, but we're gonna use that right now, I imagine.
yep, we can do Timeless Witness for getting back something from our graveyard, and
Probably
then
the Evoker. Am I wrong?
yep, the Evoker is probably correct.
So we'll do Delighted Halfling and the floating blue mana. Delighted Halfling just for generic, and then we'll go green green.
Yep, yep, and then we cast Hullbreak Horror for free, and then we use any creature plus Hullbreak or any creature plus Great Oak Guardian to make infinite mana and draw through our deck.
Hold up, hold up, hold up. So if we play Hullbreak Horror here, the spell can't be countered whenever you cast a spell up to one of your creatures. Okay, so blah blah. 7 mana. We get 2 triggers here, so let's just go through the steps and phases as it is. We're gonna go ahead and just look at the top of our library. It's another land. We'll draw it off of Helga. She will also untap while adding a counter. Right, so now we have Hullbreaker Horror, and what Will was saying is that he wants to play another creature to bounce a thing and do the thing, right?
Yep,
Hey, this is pretty much game. Am I wrong?
this is game because now we have Great Oak Guardian making our board infinity infinities or like 200 200s,
I mean,
and then
why not just... Oh, sorry. Keep going.
we just get rid of all blockers and we attack with Helga, Momir, and Delighted Halfling for game.
Oh, because we're gonna make them infinitely powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so, I mean, I could even just start with Apex Altasaur if that's the case, if we wanted to do it that way.
Yep.
Untap Helga, obviously, bounce Great Oak Guardian to hand, and just start nuking the board. Let's just say Apex Altasaur dies in the aftermath here, but we get rid of everything.
You can stop with Apex Ultrasaur at any point, so you can keep it at 1 health, then
Are you
bounce
sure?
and replay it.
Whenever it's dealt damage, it fights up to 1. Wow. Okay, never mind. Just keep it there.
It's better than people think.
I don't know about you guys. I feel like this is really tilted. Am I wrong? Like, this feels really good. We've
Yeah.
turned 5'd every game. Sorry. So just to illustrate, we would cast Great Oak Guardian. What Will was saying is that our creatures that aren't summoning sick, which is the Delighted Halfling, the Helga, and the Momir, will kill everyone. And if Altasaur didn't do the trick, Will was just suggesting this could be one of the last things we bounce to kill everything. All the while we're doing this, we're drawing through our deck. So if we just needed another solution, we could find another solution. I don't feel like this is casual. I don't know. I don't think I need Ristic Study. Okay.
It's casual enough, but I would say this is the higher / faster end of casual. It depends on playgroup, because also we're doing all this assuming no one's going to interact.
Right.
Most people would try to keep at least one piece of interaction to slow us down, then we'd have to try to find a solution on it. So we probably win more so like turn 7 or 8 instead of turn 5.
I feel like we should include more protective spells or like silence effects or I think that our interaction suite is at a lack. I will say though, even with 32 creatures, we were really low on creatures those 2 games we play tested. Really low on creatures. I don't know why that is. It's like a third of our deck, right? Practically with 32.
Well, with that second hand, we had like 3 creatures in hand the whole time.
That was way better. That was definitely way better. And like Momir.
Yeah, Momir's gross. Momir's just gross.
Dude, it was so effective. I like that they're both cast so that we can stack them that way. I really like this deck. So I was looking to build a casual oriented deck. I have to say this feels kind of cutthroat. Like when we did the set review or the legendary review for Bloomburrow, I feel like Helga was super appealing and just like borderline CDH. I think in a casual, very borderline, like outskirts, like out of town, behind a barbed wire fence. Like, I don't think she's going to perform well in a CDH setting, but in a casual setting, like, it almost feels too oppressive. Like, you're getting a lot of, she is an outlet with creature combos. She is the buff. Like, Sylvala needs like effects to buff her to do the thing. She is buffing herself while doing the thing. And even if it's like minute, like just 1/1 counters, it adds up. And also, we didn't even look into utilities that play off of like gaining a life per turn, which frankly is kind of another out if we want it. You know what I mean? Like, if there are more things to do with the life gain than we're necessarily giving it credit for. It's just, in this instance, it's paying for the MDFCs. So, is this a good deck? I don't know. That was 2 playtest hands, so it's a little soon to tell. But if we cut all the tutors, it will make it less consistent and probably slow it down, if that's your concern. I mean, what did we even tutor? Oh, Momir, but like Momir was the tutor. Momir was the tutor for that game, and like, I kind of loved it.
Yeah, it's we had the
first game we enlightened tutor.
We had the tutor 3 to the top one and Momir big.
Oh.
If we do cut those, then yeah, it will make the decks a little bit less consistent and a little bit more fair.
Congregation at Dawn this last game?
On game 1, yes. On game 2, we did Momir Vig.
We did Enlightened Tutor the first game, I thought. To
yeah,
Intruder. Oh, no, we did Enlightened Tutor for Intruder Alarm and then Congregation at Dawn to get this set up. HC, I don't disagree. I feel like Congregation at Dawn is a pretty fair tutor. Right? I mean, here, no.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think by all intents and purposes, like, it's pretty fair. It's pipped out, but it's instant speed, stack my deck. Will, even if we just wanted to wait, Congregation at Dawn's amazing. I really like this deck. I don't know that it's casual enough. I don't know why I'm saying that.
If you want a deck that's more casual but is still pretty good, I think that we can do a Gev aggro deck that you'd like that would be still relatively casual. Because you can do the whole persist loop thing with Gev, but you can avoid all of that and just turn your 1/1 tokens into 4/4s and beat people down.
Yeah.
I think that might be a little bit more up your alley. Because you just do good general Rakdos things, build a decent board, and then use Gev to try to make your small board big, and then kill people with damage multipliers.
I mean, is Gev better or worse than any pre-existing go wide kind of list like that, or?
He's kind of his own thing, because I don't think we've had a good Rakdos go wide commander since one of the recent Dominaria sets, but that one is sack your creatures after they connect to draw cards, and Gev is pay 3 mana to make 3 1/1s and get 12/12 power for 3 mana.
You know what we could do to make this slightly more casual? I mean, it does hurt the effectiveness of this deck quite a bit. But if we did make Karuga the companion, it would cut so much of the early game efficient cards.
Yeah, but
to include all the tutors, but like that really does like hamper this deck a lot.
I feel like that just makes the deck feel like it does nothing for the first 3 to 4 turns instead,
right.
And then it still combos off pretty well.
Draw a card for each other permanent you control with mana values 3 or greater. Is Kruger even worth it in the 99?
It's still gonna be like 5 mana, draw 4.
Right. So if we have Cloudstone Curio in the list and we hit that mummy off of Cloudstone's pretty gnarly. Am I wrong?
Yep. Agreed.
Is that the only combo? Oh, I guess Great Oak Guardian.
Yeah.
That's
what Sky Husser was there for as well.
I think those 2 is enough. And I think the mummy is just right at 4, right? What is its name?
Yeah, and if we cut Karuga for anything, we would probably cut it for Sky Husser just because it has the draw ability on it.
Right. I almost want to put Endurance in here just to get another free, Helga trigger.
Yeah, we could do that, but we built the deck. The deck did work.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. That's all there is to say about it. I definitely agree with you, HC. I think we can cut some of the tutors to make it less efficient. I don't know that. I don't really know my local casual tables, right? Because I don't play casual, but my mind was sort of warped. I think yours and mine will. Like, we win on the spot with this deck, pretty much. Like, but it does require a lot of leveraging of our utilities, but it's not like we're not doing it on the same turn. We just had to, the setup is just a little bit slower. But like, we were kind of ripping and roaring pretty efficiently. I like this list a lot. I like Helga. I like Helga a lot. I don't know if I like the art for this card enough. That's also a
But what
determining
about
factor
the
for
other
me.
card, the old lady frog?
What old lady frog?
The,
Oh
the, the
yeah.
other art, the other art for Helga.
I don't mind it. We can look at it actually really quick if you want. But
Just glassy-eyed old lady frog.
but on that note, is Helga Skittish Seer? Actually, I do like this one a lot. Ooh, if we pull it, maybe then. Is Helga Skittish Seer a good casual list? Sure, it's casual as fuck. Just not really. I feel like that was really powerful, but I would want to play this locally. Obviously, like what was saying, this isn't a vacuum, so there could be interaction, there could be something to stop us, and I think just feeling out what people use and manipulate in my locals will better inform me as to what kind of interaction or protection I should have in my list for someone potentially just stopping me entirely. If one piece is exiled, though, there is redundancy for the most part, like Intruder Alarm and Chakram Retriever. Same thing with Great Oak Guardian and the Mummy with Cloudstone. Cloudstone is a one-off, though, so it's not like we can do anything about that outside of Hullbreak Core and Tidespout Tyrant. So maybe that's one too many bounce effects, but I don't know. I like this list a lot. I think it's really good. I think we should open up 2 more packs and then close this one out. Well,
Alrighty.
closing.
Also, your webcam closed on Discord.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still working on the stream. Thank God.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, what do y'all have planned for your weekend? Let me know. Are you making a Helga list that this help you? In all honesty, though, like if you feel like this is too good for a casual setting, let me know, and I would love to hear what you guys would replace or fix, like HC was suggesting. It's just good information for me to have because I don't really know. But I feel like the deck was really awesome. Like I like Helga a lot.
Agreed.
Would you make this list personally, Will? Like, is it your cup of tea or what?
Uh, less. It's less of what I would do because I like doing more commander-focused control decks. This deck is a control combo deck. Uh, I don't think I would make it, but I'd make somewhat similar decks.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like a too high of a power level for me because I have my Livio Kodama deck which can win at about the same speed as this Helga deck. But yeah, it's probably not something I'd make, but it's not something I would not make because of a power reason.
Right. I do like how the draw is oriented towards casting big creatures. So it's like I feel like it narrows down the effectiveness of the draw, but it almost makes you think of the draw almost exclusively as an outlet, which you know, I kind of just want to play a legendary that's of value commander, and I can sort of build a strategy around that.
Yeah.
That's why I like the Bellow starter. It's back there. I don't know if you can see it. But we have some of the Bloomburrow starters back there. I have the Bellow list, and I think Bellow would be really fun to play. Like there was someone playing a Bellow when we were at SCG Con, and I actually quite like the play style. Get to play with a lot of dumb enchantments that I just don't get to see. Coiling Rebirth, sir.
Rebirth.
Wick the World Mind. And
Wait.
a Starfall Invocation for you, sir.
Oh, John Wick. I did not even know he had an alternate art. I'm gonna be building that casually.
What's your favorite casual list right now?
My go-to is always going to be my Society deck.
Really?
Yeah, just casual 83 lands, do big dumb mana stuff.
I need to get the only card I'm looking for from the set is that Dawn's Truce, I think.
Yeah.
I don't have a favorite casual deck. I wish I did. Um, anything that lets me draw though, and puts me in more colors.
I think you should
Whoa, 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 whoa,
I think you
whoa.
should get the precon that you got a while back and improve it. The roll commander, the Selesnya roll commander.
Yeah, I still have her.
Yeah, I think you'd enjoy playing her a little bit more tuned up.
She looks dope, honestly. And like, yeah, no, I agree. Elevere.
Yep.
I would love to play Elevere. Maybe that's something we can work on next. But let me know, guys, if you're still hanging out. Let me know what you thought.
Fun flicker card.
Oh, this one. Wait.
It's the Essence Flux, but you draw a card if it's an otter or a bird or a raccoon or a
Wait.
frog.
Oh, sorry. I skipped ahead. I missed the card you were talking about, but I think I pulled something pretty good.
Yeah.
Namely this. If you needed it, Will. Castrol. What is this?
Oh, Polywog Prodigy, noise.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to use this copy. So
Yeah, the Castrol thing is a weird bird commander. It's whenever bird you control deals combat damage, you get to pick a mode.
isn't this a reprint, Luminous Broodmoth?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a special guest for this set, I believe.
Why does it have the commander deck set symbol?
Because collector. It may have also been a reprint in the commander decks. I can quickly double
A
check that.
fecund green shell, sir. Fecund green shell. As long as you control 10 or more lands, this creature gets +2/+2. That is awful. Whenever Fecund green shell or another, huh?
So the other part is a Nadu trigger when you have a creature with a big butt enter the battlefield.
Oh, okay, that's
And
a little bit better.
I was thinking of slotting that into Kodama Livio, but I think almost every creature I have is equal power toughness.
This would be kind of cool to do like a bird tribal thing.
It's somewhat interesting, but it's very finicky.
I mean, it's not bad though.
But you're able to pull the Polywog Prodigy, so you don't need to buy one now.
I guess, are they expensive?
They're like nearing $20.
All right, it's for trade.
Yeah.
I don't really like the card. I like the port mage. The other card I pulled, I like this guy a lot. Like I think that this is a great card. Dow port mage. I feel like I'm gonna get a little bit more value out of this than that. It has to be a creature you control, so it's not like you can, bounce any sort of effective legendary or creature from your opponent's fields, but still really solid. Nice. Polywog Prodigy. We didn't really pull. I mean, I don't think there's any real. What are the bomb cards from this collector booster?
Let's find out. Bloomburrow.
But yeah, if you like these casual deck techs, let me know, guys, in the chat. I enjoyed brewing that. It didn't feel very casual, but then again, like, I don't know. I'm new at this. The deck itself, though, performs very well. I like the legendary quite a lot, and I do want to make a list. I think it would be fun to go trip color, just because there's a lot more options for like tapped duels and stuff I can play with. And the Triumph, obviously. So like color fixing is going to be a little bit easier. I do think I'll still run like Prismatic Vista and the general fetch lands, but try to keep it balanced with my land base. Again, we were rocking with command towers there, but I think we would have the math so far as like getting the right mana for our hands.
Yeah. And by the way, Three Trees City is the money card without any fancy art versions or anything, but including fancy art, I think the Planeswalkers have fancy bordering treatments that are expensive from the set.
Oh yeah. You're absolutely right. The Planeswalkers are. This Prodigy's so good. God, okay. I'll have to take everyone's word for it. I need to see it played. Like, if it's just left there, then I could see Polywog Prodigy being a devastating card.
Well,
But
the reason why Prodigy is good is because usually people have like a 2 power commander, so it's going to be a 2/3, and then if anybody plays something that costs 1 or less, you draw a card. At that point, it's just better Mystic Remora that you don't have to pay taxes on.
okay, that's fair. All right, gang. I think that's it for this video. I've got some errands to run. There's a store that's closing it in less than an hour, so I need to figure out how I'm going to get there. But thanks for staying for this Helga Skittish Seer deck tech. I might want to do another casual list in the future. I could definitely see us doing more CDH lists, though. So hang out for those. I got to say, there's a little bit more wiggle room with what you do in a casual setting, and you get to play with some dumb cards, so kind of enjoyed that. It was a nice change of pace when it came to deck building.
Yeah, 'twas fun, 'twas fun. You gotta show off all the weird and random stuff.